way, why would you leave Jaden Daniels?
You got to protect the kid too. That's another guy. I mean,
Well, it brings up a great question.
we get whack.
Elmer Fudd clever? Don't make me laugh. The fact is, Elmer Fudd is the dumbest hunter I have ever had the pleasure to encounter.
Okay, Wabbit, we'll see whose IQ is PU.
Marriage
Is what brings us
together today.
Welcome to Pour the Whistle, and we will talk about shapes and colors tonight.
Tell you what, we'll just talk about shapes and colors now.
I think that is a good discussion to have right here.
Shapes and colors?
No.
Another thing we learn at school is how to count. Can you help me count these cars?
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great job.
Blow the Whistle, your greatest little internet radio show everywhere you go. Always live on sportsoundchicago.com. Let's go.
I missed you all so much. I missed you guys so much as well, too, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
My name is Andrew Pepe Valentin, and I'm here with my boys.
No gimmicks, Dick Johnston.
Adam Slim Schneider.
Yes, sir. We are back. It's been a minute. Obviously, we're all very busy. Still no David. He's on vacation. Hopefully, at some point out. I haven't seen him in like 2 months now. I mean, yeah, it's been a minute. I miss you, man. I don't know if you can hear me out there, but
He's on a 3-month vacation somewhere.
yeah, something like that. But homie, I hope you're doing good. Hope everything's going well. Tyler, I miss you too. Obviously, we know where you're at, but you know.
Congrats again. I think we mentioned it the last time.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations again, and just in case, him and the wonderful wife Emily having their child.
Right.
Amazing, good stuff. We can't wait. You guys are going to be amazing parents as usual. Never doubt in my mind. And obviously, the rest of the group, Frankie, I hope you're still alive. I'm just clarifying.
Mark Brunell helmet. He's doing all right.
Was that the latest one?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't chimed in.
Led the league in passing in 93.
That's true. Very true.
I miss the Stallion, man.
I do too. I was hoping he was going to be back more. He said he was going to try, but I guess man's getting busy, and I get it. You know, we got to work.
Ultimate Autographs is really doing him something.
Absolutely, and I'm very happy for him too. We should say very proud of our boy getting the work in there. But ladies and gentlemen, we're here, and we got a lot to talk about. Obviously, we're going to be. I mean, we got a lot of stuff we're going to be covering here. We have, obviously, MLB Trade Deadline. That's coming up next week. We've got the NBA with some fresh, hot news. Obviously, the King making what he's calling his final decision. We will also have, as well, training camp for the NFL has opened up. Talk that on the Bears and a lot more on the NFL teams around there. And probably go off the rails. Maybe even go possible. We'll see. I know we've been doing off the rails on the map a little bit with that. Maybe we'll talk some other stuff. There's certainly been a lot more news outside of the usual. Plus, I think me and Nick we've covered a good bit of wrestling here, I think, for the most part. So just, SummerSlam, all in London, hey, we're looking up. So I'll just say that for now. But my boys, are you ready to get into this now?
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
Let's do it then, folks. So yes, MLB Trade Deadline is coming up August 3rd. I don't have the specific time when it comes out.
Around 1 or something like that.
Is it 1 o'clock? Is that Eastern or our time?
6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central.
Okay, 5 p.m. Central time, whatever Eastern time. We don't go by that time because they don't exist. But yes, deadline's coming up. Obviously, I think every MLB team is kind of like in the shopping mode of looking for something. There's very few teams that are like, we're going to sell, right? I mean, you have to be at the bottom of the barrel looking to sell. And even some of them are, yeah, exactly. That's, but let's specifically focus on the two teams here in the city foremost, right? Because White Sox, Cubs, both looking to add almost similarities in terms of what they need, specifically in starting pitching, right? Both teams have been highlighted as they need starting pitching or they need help in their bullpen more than anything. So, Nick, I'll kick it to you, man. Obviously, for the White Sox and themselves, I mean, we've talked already a good bit here and there on this show about what the White Sox have been looking for in terms of a starting pitcher. But as we're getting closer to the deadline, do you see them making a move for a starting pitcher, or even still outside of that, where else could you see the White Sox going with this trade deadline?
I think the rumors swirl, or the online people always have their run, and they're all the experts are like, oh, Mason Miller to the White Sox. A closer is one of the last things the White Sox need. I feel like a closer is one of the last things any team needs to be the World Series type contender.
Sure.
I still believe that Grant Taylor can still take that role and still has done very well. Sir Anthony Dominguez was originally thought to be that guy.
Yeah.
I believe when he's contracted, but now he's kind of just like low leverage situations, kind of finding himself again. I think that's going to be a okay. It has to be a starter. It has to be a starter, even if it's I don't want to say a number 4 or number 5, but even that could still be huge value for the White Sox when you consider not everyone is sold on Noah Schultz right now. Who
Sure.
is admittedly himself just said I was feeling gassed at 75 pitches the last time he was out.
Right.
And yeah, you can blatantly see like during the game he was losing his command, so it wasn't really like I said, a guy like Noah Schultz where people are like, okay, good, glad we have the huge lefty with us, but just can he get into form and get into MLB form and find his footing later on down the line too, and just kind of actually get your stamina underneath you as well. A long way of me saying exactly which it needs to be a starter. It needs to be, like I said, even if it's what you would probably think, George Kirby is probably the 3rd or 4th best starter on the Mariners when he could easily be the number 2 or number 3 for the White Sox right now. So
probably
should probably go for a guy like that.
There's also been Reed Detmers. Obviously, has been like the big thing.
A huge guy right there for sure. And now that the Marlins are kind of falling back into their losing ways, Sandy Alcantara can kind of get back to the conversation again.
Yeah.
Where I would love, the Scoobles and the Joe Ryan of the conversation, but unfortunately for them, they're in the White Sox division. They would get taxed out the wahoo if that's going to be the case.
Right.
And I know you mentioned closers shouldn't be things that people should be looking for, but there is a big name from the Athletics, Mason Miller, that I think that maybe some teams would look for if they're trying to make that push to a championship.
Yeah, but that's going to be a team like
the Yankees or the Dodgers,
the Yankees,
something
the
like
Rays,
that.
the Dodgers. Like that's I've always felt like a closing position, a closing pitcher is always a luxury item that. That's literally the last thing. They're like, oh, what's going to put us over the edge? Like we have everyone at our position players are hitting they're waiting above. They're all power hitters, all going crazy. Our starting rotation is off the charts. Even our mid-level bullpen is actually pretty decent. Like that's the very last thing that a team should be worrying about. So every time I see everyone in like the White Sox Pride and Passion page be like, this is the package we should put together for Mason Miller, and it's like getting rid of Sean Burke. And I see Hagen Smith. And let's give up all of our top guys for 1 year of Mason Miller. Like, no, when you're going to get it's just
and that's the problem too, right? Is that it's Mason Miller having the 1 year contract, and then ultimately it's if this doesn't work out the way he wants it to, or he doesn't get the offer from the White Sox that he wants, then he's immediately going to free agency and making probably a boatload of cash to sign with one of the top teams. You assume like Brewers, Yankees, Dodgers, whatever the case may be, right? Because they will offer that contract.
Yeah, and everyone, of course, like I mentioned, that's going to be the Cubs' number 1 priority. Should be getting a starter, and that's again across the board. That's probably everyone's top priority. Top 3 is going to be a starter. It's just always going to happen.
Yeah,
For the White Sox, it should definitely be a catcher. And Shea Langeliers going down, tearing his meniscus, and him being out for the rest of the season. That was a horrible, unfortunate situation because I think the White Sox could have put a package together and could have got a guy like him, a switch hitting power catcher like that.
That would have been great.
Because unfortunately, with Teal being out the next 4 to 6 weeks again, it's going to put a huge damper on it because Edgar Caro, not only can he not hit, he can't challenge a call. He is the worst eye behind the plate I think I've seen. Like, I don't even think it's a fallacy at this point.
He's giving Rushing a run for his money for sure from the Dodgers.
He is brutal. And you're like, okay, counterpart, let's throw in Romo in there. Romo's hitting like 170.
Yeah, he's got no eye for the plate at all.
Like before he was in his little stretch of hitting like 1 for 27, 1 for 28. Yeah. And over his last like 30 some odd plate appearances, he is doing awful. So if it's not a starter, it should definitely be a catcher in some degree. And if we're really gonna put balls to the wall, Adley Rutschman over in Baltimore, fantastic.
I want to add one thing too, and I think me and Drew talked about this on the fifth quarter. Check us out. That if Mason Miller were to get traded to the Yankees, for example, you trade that farm system for someone like him to an extent, like what you would be looking for.
Sure. And
then there's nothing that says, and this is one of the big downsides to people. He's on a contract year, correct? Or is he
Miller?
Yes, he has 1 year left on his deal, and then it's either negotiate or he's hitting free agency basically.
Okay. The point we made was that even if he gets traded to the Yankees, there's nothing that says he can't go back to that original team, which would be a big loss for the Yankees regardless.
Right.
So it's sort of like these quote unquote potential deals that are always like a big hit or miss or a big risky take, because you're essentially trading some young players that are looking to come up next year through AAA or maybe even AA, depending on how they play. And you're gonna lose it to a guy who's on a contract here who might not want to.
Well, yeah, that's the trade-off. Ultimately, all the time is it worth giving up your top prospects for 2 months of work?
Yeah,
and then on top of that, you have the potential to not even have a season next year. So I think that's also going to play into a lot of teams may or may not being so aggressive this current trade deadline. It's gonna be for sure a seller's market this year. Because like I said, I mean the AL is just so wide open right now. You can either flip flop it. You can be glass half full. And you're like, oh wow, there's only 3 or 4 teams above 500, or you can be like, wow, there's 12 teams that's in contention for this wild card, which is pretty crazy. It's like the only teams that are not going to be sniffing a playoff spot is probably going to be the Royals and the Angels. And if they keep it up, the Athletics might not be in contention anytime soon.
Yeah, well, the Athletics have been hit with a lot of injuries, and unfortunately, outside of Nick Kurtz, the rest of the team is just not performing up to par. You can see the future's being built there. But
so on the flip side, 3, 4, 7, and then another at least 3. You're gonna have at least 10 teams fighting for a wild card / the number 1 spot in the division.
It's just crazy to me because seeing this through, I know this is a little older, but the Red Sox going on that 15-game win streak kind of threw a monkey wrench in that too.
Oh yeah, that hurt them. People were trying to get Sonny Gray.
The White Sox had an opportunity to possibly get Gray and Chapman in like a partner deal on a cheap level where they're under contract. They are also performing at their top peak, but then once they go on that run, the Red Sox basically shut down everybody, and now they're looking to add.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like now, as soon as teams start catching fire, this whole, like you said, it throws a monkey wrench into everything because now everybody all of a sudden is going, oh, damn, well, we were going to pick a pitch. We can still make that pitch, but now they're just going to shun us. So what's the point?
It's just also interesting considering that the Blue Jays were the reigning AL champions, and now they're at the bottom of the AL
That's
East.
baseball.
That's because I joined their fandom. Don't you realize? Once I leave a fandom, everybody gets better. That's the problem.
The only thing that's not looking crazy is I do remember at the beginning of the year, I was just thinking about this now, like all the people like, wow, you're going to pay Dylan Cease all that money? And he's like number 1 in ERA, number 1 in strikeouts, number 1 in whip, probably. Like he's having a crazy Cy Young type year.
That's the thing. But
it's just unfortunate that the Blue Jays are just 10 games below 500. He can't catch a break. This guy can't get on a winning team to save his life.
Well, and that team still has all the pieces, I think, to still be able to compete. But for some reason, everyone just seemed to hit a downslide.
Oh yeah, I mean
Vlad's not being the power guy.
Statistical year, I'm sure, in a lot of different categories.
Clement, I think, is their best player.
Yeah, which is just
it's just unfortunate. At least for the White Sox, I will make a pitch for you because I know the Rockies right now are kind of like in this. We're maybe willing to sell what we can to try and get it. You speak of a catcher, Hunter Goodman's out there. I know everybody's kind of in the walk on him. He's a 30 home run hitter kind of guy. He's also a long-term piece that you can sign under contract too and give yourself a nice buffer. And he's not going to eat into your payroll too much either.
Oh, God.
I've also heard too, you can partner that up with Ryan Feltner, who is not the greatest pitcher in the world. His ERA is high, but it's a matter of his location, breaking ball, and his fastball all work for what people have said for the White Sox in that rotation as like a fourth or fifth starter, as you said, which would also still, too, if I'm crazy on this, package that with the right amount of guys. You could still then make the pitch to go get Reed Detmers as well in Anaheim, and then you're saying you've got 3 guys you can lock under contract, not kill yourself on the contracts either for the long term, and now your future looks even brighter. I mean, what do you think of that? Obviously, it's a nice pitch, but you think it's possible.
I think the only thing you can throw out every mock trade and every different example.
Right.
My only thing is if the White Sox give up any sort of top 100 prospect, I think that's going to be a bad thing.
So Bulmer, all those guys.
You're going to have to if you're going to need to make the big, huge, humongous splash.
Right.
So if that leads to, again, somehow, some way landing Sandy Alcantara. Okay, I could live with that.
Yeah,
but a top 100 prospect for a guy like that, whatever. It just can't. We can't be throwing out whatever type names, guys that are just having great
Hagen
flashy.
Smith, Sean Burke.
We can't have the flash in the pan year and then give up a top guy that could eventually be more than just a flash in the pan.
Right,
exactly that. So that's where I'm at. We're like let's not sell every top prospect just for this 1 year when, yes, you could make some splash, you could make some noise, but right now, even on paper, like you look at this team, okay, let's add a few names. Are you still going to beat the Dodgers, the Braves, the Phillies,
right?
Everybody else in a 4-game series, a 7-game series? It's just not looking like that for them.
Yeah, are you in contention with a lot of those top teams? They've proven to be able, at least in the regular season, to compete with some of them, maybe even beat them.
Yeah,
but we've all known this. There's a difference between the regular season baseball and playoff baseball. Something changes for some of these guys when playoff baseball hits, where the guy who's hitting 190 can all of a sudden be a 300-plus hitter, belting balls out of the ballpark.
I mean, you look at this roster. Is there anyone that has multiple postseason appearances? Like what? Randall Grichuk, maybe?
Benintendi,
yeah.
That might end it. That might be the end.
Like that, and that's not a fault on the White Sox.
Does Dominguez have?
He might have.
Maybe. I don't even know.
That's exactly where I'm getting at. Where it's a mixture of like, yes, all these young guys. There's not a ton of like the veteran talent that is there. They're not the most experienced even themselves.
Right.
Going the distance and going beyond 162. So it's kind of that balance there too of like all that mixed in the 13 rookie appearances this year for the White Sox and counting again when Hagen Smith most likely makes an appearance this year.
I want to point this out. I know the deadline is coming near. The White Sox did make a trade a couple of days ago for a right-handed pitcher. Was it Jose
Urquidy?
Yeah, Urquidy.
Again, innings eater, not a bad decision. I don't think
still an effective pitcher. I know the ERA is not good.
The 4-5 guy.
Yeah, he has that ground ball ability. He also still can throw one by you if he needs to.
He doesn't have the flashy stuff. He is enough to get by.
Yeah,
and that was kind of his like.
He didn't have to give up anything.
Professional numbers. His AAA numbers are decent.
Yeah,
good enough to keep them there. But yeah, I like the move.
It was low risk, potentially mid to high reward. If he can come in and help out, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of obviously for the White Sox, I mean for where they're at, they've done a tremendous job this year. Obviously beyond what we could ever expect. The Cubs, however, while still sitting at 61-46, everyone's still complaining a lot.
Yeah,
and it really just pertains to, obviously, lack of performance within the roster. There's been a lot of questions across the board as far as, well, we have over 60 wins, but are the right pieces in place for this team to actually try to win the division and then go beyond that and try to go for a World Series victory? That has been the key talk. At least I've been able to hear from our fans that are Cubs fans, from the random people that I just met this weekend who were like, we're just like, hey, you do the show. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, so I got to think about the Cubs. I went, let me buy a beer first, dude. Actually, I'll buy you all beer real quick because it's going to be that kind of conversation. And boy, was it. They are, and then this is, again, coming from the fan on the street, they are content that they need starting pitching. And I think that's the obvious, like, yeah, no doubt. Like, you just DFA'd Jason Talon. He wasn't performing. Thank you for your service last year, but you're not doing the work. All the injuries. I still have questions on if Justin Steele is that long-term go-to guy, if he's ever going to be that ace that you can truly trust long-term in the rotation. They are now saying Clay Holmes, Freddie Peralta, Reed Detmers, Sandy Alcantara. Like, they just want everybody. Mm-hmm. They're just naming guys. And is there one pitcher, at least, I mean, from the pitching perspective, at least for the Cubs, is there one that you guys see that by far and away is the one? I mean, obviously Tarek Skubal, but I would ask this question, though, too, as well, if I can partner this as well. How much are you willing to give up of your remaining future to try and contend now when I think there's uncertainty with where the future is going to be with possible manager and GM?
And not to answer your question with a question, but that's kind of where I wanted to ask other Cub fans, like, what are you willing to give up?
And that's what I asked them. And these guys were content.
To get the whatever They
said give up everything. We'll give up Wiggins and all that. And I was like, all right, man. So you're saying then go for it, fine. But like, you do realize then that means if they go down with an injury, if they don't come back, you've just splashed everything then. Like, you got to be okay with that then. I feel like for a Cub fan, it's probably definitely just like infuriating because you feel like you're doing everything right, and the Brewers are still just right there, side by side, better than you by a couple of games, by 6 games, if I'm not mistaken, right now. Yeah.
And every time you're like, yeah, we went on another huge streak, and the Brewers are just like, yeah, we did too. We're right next to you, if not better, every single time.
And
we're not like worrying about it either. You guys are like worrying about it.
That's the thing, is like they're panicking.
Laissez-faire, feet are up in the air. They don't care. They're winning ball games left and right, and they just don't. And it's because it's no sweat on them. I feel like there's like a low. Even when they do lose, it's not like losing in Chicago when it's just like, oh man,
sky's falling.
Exactly. But no, for the Brewers, like, they're just doing everything right. I don't want to say for a Cub fan just be like, you know what, just forfeit trying to go for the division.
No, just settle for where you're at.
Just settle for the fact that you're going to be the number 1 wild card spot and just be happy with that. You're guaranteed into the show pending a huge collapse. Which I don't really see that on the horizon for the Cubs. The offense is firing on all cylinders right now. The way that Craig Counsell is able to just piece together a pitching core, pitching staff with what he was able to provide is good on him. But it's just exactly that, where like every time you feel like the Cubs are like, all right, good, we're in the right stat, and then again it's just like the Brewers are like, yeah, we're fine too. We're right next to you. We're doing just fine.
I mean, Cubs right now are sitting 6 games out of first. Mm-hmm. The Brewers they're not out of the equation. Yeah.
It's just because the Brewers are just so good still right next to you.
They're on cruise control. Yeah. They're riding a train, whereas the Cubs are riding a horse trying to like gallop and giddy up as fast as they can to keep up with the train. But listen, the Brewers did everything. They've done everything right. And guess what? They're still doing things right because what do they have? Like still a top 3 farm system. Jesus has not even made his appearance yet, and that kid could be the next Ronald Acuna Jr. Like, that's what he reminds me of so much. Power, speed, all of it. And you made, I think, one of the greatest fleeces in getting Kyle Harrison from the Boston Red Sox for what is essentially a box of garbage. And none of those guys have panned out. None of them have worked. Like, the Red Sox are just muddling away. None of them are doing anything. So they have shown the epitome of it. And guess what? The Cubs have too, but it's been more, I think, on the side of Counsell. Like you said, Counsell's putting together the pitching staff the way he can, and he's putting the lineup together that makes, like, everyone's feeding off of each other. PCA's playing, obviously, at an MVP-type level, but nowhere am I hearing that Jed Hoyer's getting the credit, and that's where this kind of becomes a monkey wrench for me.
Yeah.
Is like, okay, you get some credit for the roster being put together, sure, but you're not the one working with it. You're not making the moves. Until he makes a move here that actually looks like it's going to better the team, you can't definitively say that he's really done. I can't definitively say at least he's done anything of necessity to be like, Hoyer helped the Cubs.
Yeah.
No, it's counsel.
If somehow, some way, and I just saw this on Foul Territory, kind of like trying to prep and see what happens. The bold prediction for the experts that they looked at, Scooble could possibly go to the Brewers, and if that were to happen, I would love it for the sake of one, good riddance, get out of the AL Central.
I was gonna say,
won't have to deal with you for what, maybe one time, once a year, maybe,
possibly.
Probably wouldn't even see him for the next 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah,
if he did that. But then, the added gut punch of seeing every Cub fan just being on, every sort of.
Damn it!
Yeah, just every time. Every time.
Oh, that would be. I mean, well, and I know that's like the big trade target, right? Like everybody wants this dude.
Oh yeah, no, it's literally gonna be no one's gonna make a move until Scooble gets moved,
right? And
then the dominoes will fall, and you'll see who goes where after that. That's when after that, that's when Reed Detmers goes. That's where Sandy Alcantara goes.
I saw a report about Tariq Skubal potentially going to the Dodgers.
That's pretty. That doesn't shock. They would have to give up, I'm sure, their top of the farm system, which I don't know if actually they would want to do that, because I'm looking at that Dodgers team right now. They're starting to show more of their age. Like Mookie Betts is starting to slow down a little. He's doing fine for what he is, but they all are, of course. But you can see Freddie Freeman, when he runs the bases, he would rather hit a home run so he could just try instead of trying to run. Yeah. Mookie, again, still a phenomenal athlete at his core, but you can kind of tell, like, when he's running back to the dugout, he's kind of just taking more of his time instead of trying to be like the head of the team kind of thing. Like, there's a lot of signs that are showing that, okay, we may need some of these younger guys to stick around instead of just like, let's just, forget these rookies, forget the young guys. Like, no, you got to kind of start thinking ahead a little bit, because Shohei, even still, he's now going on that other side of 30. And he's performed obviously as Shohei does. You got to say, well, what happens if he does get hurt? Do we have somebody that can take his place? Or what happens if he ever says, like, hey, I want to try something different? Yeah. Like, I don't think that's going to happen, but it's always the be prepared, be ready, right? And that kind of thing. So, if they get Tariq Skubal, of course they go to the head. Well, they're already at the top of the list of winning the World Series, but that certainly puts them as beyond betting favorites, like the clear cut in a way. Again, what is the cost, right? Yeah. That's going to be the ultimate question for everybody. If you're the Yankees, I say go for it. I say go for broke if you're the Yankees, because none of those guys they brought up have shown any sign of me being like, that's the future Yankee. That's the guy. The only untouchable I feel like on that squad would be Aaron Judge and Schlittler, I guess. Yeah. As the two dudes. Everybody else at this point, go to the wind.
Cole and Fried, maybe.
Yeah, but that's more so, I think, on contract than anything. Yeah. Like, if you didn't have that heavy contract laying on them, I think you could still make an argument on, like, what would you give us for Garrett Cole? Yeah. Like, he's still a great pitcher, of course.
I can agree with that. I don't think he's untouchable at this point.
No, and that's the thing. I think we're reaching that point where the two power teams here are now going to have to say, like, okay, either they're going to retire soon, or we're going to have to start thinking about moving on from them, because budget-wise and just talent-wise, they're going to start to regress. So do we get value now, or do we get value, or do we just kind of suck it up and deal with it? Yeah. And that's the difficult part. But the Tariq Skubal thing is just, I don't like, where does he go and when does he get moved? Like, does he even get moved at this point? Because everybody keeps talking about we want him, but nobody seems to be ready to pull the trigger just yet. And I'm wondering what's. Yeah,
I understand that. From talks, or not talks, but just like reading online with Tigers fans, they're already fed up. They don't care if he goes or
yeah, I've seen that. They're like, all right, torch this team. Like, forget these guys.
Rightfully so.
And it's like what you guys said earlier. It really depends on what you're willing to give up for Skubal.
Yes, absolutely.
Great pitcher. Got his 1,000th strikeout, last night, I believe? Or
I think so. Something like that, yeah.
But at the end of the day, sometimes as a team, you gotta look back and just really be like, am I willing to give up this young guy I just drafted for?
Right.
Or is there a guy coming up in the future that's going to be the future that I'm willing to get rid of? It's pretty. It's just basic sports knowledge there.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, look, for the Cubs, if there's like one bold prediction where I think they can go on it, I'm going to go say I think they get like Freddie Peralta.
Okay.
They make that trade. And as for the White Sox, I think they can make the Reed Detmers thing happen.
Yeah.
I think there's enough there that you can do that. Even, I would say this, even if it does mean that I think Bomer or Billy Carlson are one of the two guys that go in that, I don't think you should lose Bomer.
No.
Because I think they really want Billy Carlson.
Okay.
Because I think they want a shortstop that can just work everywhere. And when you're the White Sox, you're loaded at shortstop now. You're fine.
Yeah.
Like, and shout out, by the way, Chalowski, welcome home. Tomei also.
Yeah.
You get to put on your dad's jersey, so I'm happy with that too. So, like, I like the MLB draft did good. Also, make it after the All-Star so people can watch, not during the day when there's games going on.
Yeah, the whole starting point was weird. Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to get that out. That's been bugging. You want this to be a spectacle? They said they wanted a spectacle like the NBA and the NFL. Well, then make it available.
Don't have it at noon on a Saturday and not advertise it ever.
We're not all going to watch 20 rounds, but we'll watch the first maybe 2 rounds because basically you're picking up in steam. Come on. Before you guys shut it down.
I think Major League Wiffle Ball had a better advertising. I knew they were in town before I even knew that the draft was going to happen.
That you can't have that.
Yeah.
That's bad. That's bad. You guys got any predictions you want to throw out for the White Sox Cubs, like trades you might see before the deadline or at the deadline even?
I actually wanted to make a funny point.
Okay.
And my stepdad asked me last night or the night before, I don't really remember, but he's like, if they can make a run in the playoffs, even just winning a playoff series or two, do they get rid of the system? I'm like, no, by all means, no. And I said this. I'm like, this team is up and coming. The young players that the White Sox have are doing well. Give or take, Teal has gotten injured,
right?
But they're building. You're starting to get that AAA talent going in. You got this whole team as a collective doing just very well. And if anything, you look at this trade deadline and you're like, let's get some like minor pieces in here and see how far we can make it. They're having fun playing baseball, and White Sox baseball all in all it's just fun to watch again because the White Sox went from one of the worst teams in MLB history to turning it around this quick and potentially winning the Central. That's incredible.
It's unbelievably fun stuff to watch. Absolutely great. Nick, you got any ones? It's difficult.
I heard the dad grunt like,
yeah, I know.
I don't know if he's healthy. Hold on.
Okay.
I just want to make sure because it could be. I think that the A's, with all the right-handed hitters that they have and a lot of all the power that they have in those right-handed hitters, I think one of those guys along the lines of like maybe a Lawrence Butler or a Tyler Soderstrom get moved.
Oh,
He's a left-handed batter, but hell, even a guy like Jacob Wilson could probably even see himself not staying too much longer with this team or something like that.
He feels like an expendable when he was considered part of that future. He's now kind of on the outs, it seems like.
Exactly. So I'm not saying they're going to land in Chicago, but just my overall just kind of general bold prediction is just don't be surprised if this A's team gets moved around a lot.
Yeah.
Especially all those power bats that they got. So
absolutely. I'll throw in one more for the White Sox as well. I know they've been connected to the Reds potentially for a trade for a catcher. Jose Trevino, apparently the price is starting to come down on him.
Okay.
For a backup catcher. So, because I think you can say Teal can get that future starting spot locked up, but as a survivable backup with a veteran presence in Trevino, I think that can do framing and can throw guys out. I think that's important.
I'll quickly frame it this way.
Yeah.
If the White Sox, it's a successful trade deadline if the White Sox acquire, for me, a catcher and or a starting pitcher that is like third, fourth, fifth starter. That's
okay.
That is if they get one or if they get both, that is a successful draft, successful trade deadline. If they do neither, or they make dumb moves they don't need to, like, I don't know, just trading for like a second baseman for no reason,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Right.
Then that is clearly an unsuccessful trade deadline. And on the flip side for the Cubs, again, same thing. It's like if they just don't make a big home run splash move for one of these big names that we've listed. Insert any one of these names that we mentioned this past half hour. If they don't get one of those names, it is a failure of a trade deadline for them.
And it definitely could be the end of the Jed Hoyer era, unfortunately, because right now of everything I've been able to hear, sounds like Council's okay because he's locking it in.
Yeah.
Hoyer, however, is just on the outs right now, kind of like twiddling his fingers, being like, I need to win in the playoffs. We need to get to a World Series.
We can be almost looking like not a brand new Cub team, but like, Say is probably going to be gone. And Hap
could be gone. There could be a lot of
as well. I mean, they just DFA'd Jameson Tyone.
Yeah.
So it's not like, these guys that have been here and like, oh, they're not just like names that we love and we're connected to. Like, no, again, we're introduced to the business side of the baseball aspect once again. So
it's the tough thing about it, folks. Guys come and go all the time. Obviously, that's what the trade deadline's for. But let us know what you think. White Sox, Cubs, who are the big moves that they can make? Will they make? Also, too, what other MLB teams do you see potentially making moves out there? There's obviously a lot of teams that are vying for the chance to either upgrade their staff or
doing their double D.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna pull this thing out or what? Because Atlanta, again, they're not.
Sorry, they need to get like a decade younger. Like that's their only. I know we just went a whole.
Yeah,
that would be my thing. You need to get younger quick because that window is closing.
That's the thing. Is you're again.
Bryce Harper ain't getting younger.
Bryce Harper, boy, he was trotting and then he was walking to the dugout like halfway through when last time I watched and I went, oh, we're not a young pup anymore, which then reminded me, I'm like, oh man, and I'm getting older now too. This sucks. Damn you, Bryce Harper.
Hey, you think the Phillies might be calling for you?
Listen, I will take. I'll take a fourth of his contract to play first base. Okay, I did it before. I'll probably get spiked up, I'm sure, because my foot will be all wrong on the base. But I'll do it. I will do it. I can hit it. I can hit the same amount. What's? Oh, he's not hitting 190 anymore. That's right, because Baby Bambino's now all of a sudden figured it out. Damn it! All right, let us guys know. Comment down below. We want to hear from you guys as always. When we come back, Philly's got a new star. The King is in. The final decision. He's named it all, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be talking about that next here on Blow the Whistle on SportsDownChicago.com.
This is your home for sports.
This is the best fans in the world.
No better team. SportsDownChicago.com.
Are you ready for this? Valley View Automotive has all of the hottest SUVs you've been looking for. Enjoy a test drive and the opportunity to drive one of these powerful vehicles off the lot for half the price. Yes, half the price. Now's the time to get yourself to Valley View by car, on foot, or even by air to take advantage of this outrageous sale. You better get here quickly, because this promotion is only going on for 24 hours, and the automobiles are leaving the lot faster than you can say four-wheel drive. Valley View Automotive, a dealership you can depend on.
Hey, I'm Andy Griggs, asking you to help prevent domestic violence. Domestic violence isn't a woman's issue. It hurts all of us. Women are injured and killed every day by their husbands and boyfriends. So it's time for men to take action right now to teach boys that violence against women is wrong, to help prevent abuse before it starts. Call the Family Violence Prevention Fund at 1-800-END-ABUSE to get a free Take Action kit containing tips on what to say to boys. That's 1-800-END-ABUSE. Teach early.
Indeed is the #1 job search user with over 250 million monthly users. Indeed's priority is to help everyone in the job searching process to find a job by uploading 10 new job opportunities every 10 seconds worldwide. With Indeed, you have free access to job searches, resume uploads, and company researches. There are over 10,000 employees at Indeed that pursue to help people find the job they are looking for. They connect with millions of people to new opportunities. Go to Indeed.com and sign up for free and create a resume and let Indeed do the rest to help you on your job search.
Hey, I'm Jesus Mauricio. Be sure to tune in every Friday to listen to Zeus Off the Bat, a baseball talk show from 1 to 2 p.m. where I'll be discussing and updating you on all things about baseball. News, predictions, reactions, and more about the Cubs, Sox, and everything across the league. Happens every Friday at 1 p.m. right here on SportsTownChicago.com. Don't forget to follow and share our Twitter and Instagram with your friends at Zeus Off the Bat. Zeus Off the Bat!
I was sorry. I was just enjoying the music choice, Adam. That was really good. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I was banging out to that. Awesome. Welcome, everybody, here to Blow the Whistle here on SportsCentralChicago.com. Andrew Valentin here, Nick Johnson, and Adam Schneider. We just got done talking about Major League Baseball's trade deadline and what the Cubs and the White Sox were going to do. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we turn to the B-ball court. That's right. Good old basketball, because what an offseason we've had, folks. I've been thoroughly enthralled by it, minus one moment, which, we had a great playoffs into the finals. Again, Knicks winning the championship. Offseason's great. The draft, phenomenal stuff. We talked about it here on the show, how the Bulls did and everything. Summer League, fantastic. Caleb Wilson looking like the real deal. All of these guys looking like the real deal. The future's bright for the NBA for sure.
Definitely could be one of the my own little observation on it, but I feel like that's been like the more watched or more like talked about Summer League in a minute.
Oh yeah,
just for overall in general, because obviously the NBA draft this past draft class was exciting.
Absolutely,
very exciting.
Of course.
So a lot of eyeballs were on it for the opener. Obviously, when Cam Boozer and Caleb Wilson were playing against each other for the Bulls and where he's on the Grizzlies.
Yeah, with the Grizzlies. Yeah.
So yeah, this was like one of the more hyped up summer leagues in a while.
No,
at least on my radar.
No, I agree with you. Probably since I would say like Zion and Ja Morant made it to the league. I mean, maybe Cooper Flag's appearance, but he was like the lone figure that everyone's like, you gotta watch it. Like this is the first one where all the teams were like, yo, you gotta watch this rookie and you gotta watch that team.
I'm sure there was more of the most attended summer league game didn't happen this year, or the most watched summer league game was probably not this year. But again, I feel like overall the coverage and like, hey, did you catch the Bulls last time? Like what? The summer league game?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, sure, dude. Yeah, I was right on top of it.
That's the thing, though, is like, it's one of those where you kind of like are dismissive of it.
Yeah.
But then, like, watch it. Like, I didn't watch any of the games. I watched the highlights of the games, and I'm going, am I gonna have to watch a summer league game? Like, am I really like? I'm getting in tune with it. Like, obviously watching the Bulls stuff, but then I'm like, let me see what the Kings are doing. I'm watching Darius Akuff go off, and then I'm watching Keaton Wagler have his redemption after everyone's like, he's a bust. And he's putting up like 30 points, and I'm going, all right, so this rookie class is probably gonna, like, even the lower level guys, like the lower first round picks, were like picking it up, and I'm going, damn, this is gonna be a really fun year. It's gonna be a really interesting year to watch. And then Adam Silver almost killed it when he said that LeBron was the reason why the schedule was being halted. In my personal perspective, I didn't like that at all, because I'm like, dude, we're really hanging on to a 42-year-old to sell the league here. That was upsetting. And then there's all this talk that LeBron's being petty because Adam Silver called him out on that, yada, yada, yada. And then LeBron finally makes his decision. I did not think it was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to be this choice, but it sounded like the other teams apparently did not want him. So Philly it is. It's going to be the Philadelphia 76ers with LeBron James, a 2-year, $8 million contract. That's the least amount he's ever taken in his entire NBA career.
And for someone who's 42 years old, that's still good money.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's pocket change for him. For
I like the post that I think it was ESPN or SportsCenter put up. It's like all the NIL college players that are making more money than LeBron this year. And it's just there's a lot.
There's a lot of kids that are making more than $8 million, folks. Believe that. But it's an intriguing lineup now that gets put in Philly. When you project what the lineup is supposed to be, right? You think like, okay, so it's Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe. Now you obviously the trade for Jaylen Brown, and then you've got LeBron and possibly Joel Embiid if he's healthy.
And you got rid of Paul George.
Yes, you added by subtraction almost in that kind of sense. Did.
At the end of the day, I mean,
man,
I saw a meme about this with this Boston Celtics trading for George, and it was like, you can rest easy now, Shaquille Boston or Celtic Shaq.
Yeah, no,
it was that's bad.
That is rough.
Which someone also side tangent, they brought up like Shaq's numbers during his Celtics run.
Oh God,
not the worst.
No, he was.
The memes kind of run wild and they kind of build the narrative, but it still has legs.
Oh, of course. Well, because at that point he was sitting around like 350, and he was very, very big and very just out of it. Of course.
I mean, the best thing to come out of that was Nate Robinson dunking on him in practice.
That's right.
And then he made him put on his shoes and make him run a suicide, which I thought was hilarious.
I forgot about that.
Oh, such a good.
Oh my god, that's so memorable.
But yeah, just to flip this all in together, and I guess the initial reaction was ring chasing, or my favorite was Colin Cowherd. He goes, "No, this is Tom Brady joining the Bucks," and I can't. I don't want to say he's right. I can't say he's wrong. I don't feel like it's ring chasing necessarily. It is a
legacy chasing.
It's a 42-year-old recognizing, okay, I can still be prominent here. I don't need to be the guy.
Yeah.
But I'm going to maybe exactly that, recognizing, hey, I am the missing piece. Let me slide in. You got Jaylen Brown, who's going to be there all year long, healthy. VJ Edgecombe, who's had a nice upstart in his rookie season.
Yes.
Can bounce back and have a nice little sophomore season, especially with, LeBron James coming in and giving him some advice. The only factor for me is just like every year with the 76ers. Is Joel Embiid going to stay healthy?
Trust the process.
And if he does, you will get MVP level games out of him. You will get an MVP level season out of him. But again, he's had one 70-game season, I feel like.
I think so.
He has not played a full 82 in his career. It's going to really come down to that. And again, on the flip side, it's like maybe that counterpoint of the trade off of, you got LeBron James there, but he's 42 years old. He's taking up a little bit of space when a guy that doesn't have lingering back and knee issues could probably get in there and maybe be a little bit more effective than he can on any given day.
One thing I do want to know is what the hell went through Brad Stevens' mind when he was like, oh, yeah, you know what? Paul George might be an upgrade over Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Well, I think my feeling is that the Celtics did it for maybe more of the draft capital, because you have to obviously equate the amount of money. You have to find a way to be able to balance the money out, right, in the trade. That's the NBA's whole thing. The money has to match. So I didn't know Paul George had that much money on him, though. That was a little bit alarming that it matches Jaylen Brown's contract. But I think the draft capital that comes with it, the pick swaps, the picks themselves, I think was more of the thing. Because I think the Celtics realized, look, they can still be competitive, but I think they're going to have a little bit of a retool, not so much a rebuild, it's a retool. And whatever was going on with the front office and Jaylen Brown, he says he wasn't upset, but it's clear that something was going on where the front office was like, well, we got to move him.
Yeah.
So maybe it was beef between him and Jason Tatum, or Jason Tatum maybe was not having fun that he's getting all the prestige. I don't know what the deal was, and that's all going to be in the book that maybe never comes out.
I feel like that was kind of maybe the media narrative of Jason Tatum versus Brown, whose team is it necessarily, and then maybe
who's the leader
exactly. And again, you would have to really go into the locker room and ask Jason Tatum or Brown, was that ever the case? We're not going to get an answer to that anytime soon. But as far as just as the East goes, Celtics can still stay competitive, but it's going to be. Now, I'm not handing it to either team, but it's definitely going to be 1-2 is going to be 76ers and the and the Knicks.
Yeah,
for the remainder for the whole season.
It feels like the 76ers right now, I would say, because of this, would become the favorite. From what I checked last time, I think the Knicks are still the favorite to be the Eastern Conference champions again. So, by the way, Joel Embiid never hit 70 games in his career.
Really?
Never.
Wow.
I just looked it up right now. He's hit 68, and that was in 2021. That was the closest he came to 70.
Okay.
He's hit 60 games 4 times.
Okay.
That's not good. And that's the thing is when they add LeBron, I get the ad. I get that because Dean Wade's good, but he's coming off the bench as a defensive piece at the forward spot that can play all the positions defensively. I get that. Perimeter, post, all that good. Simons is a shooter. Coming off the bench, LeBaron Filan's going to be a scorer at the point. All of these different ads they've brought to the team and all these different pieces they've drafted, I get it. This team is very strong top to bottom. You can go 12 guys deep possibly with this group, with LeBron included. but their biggest necessity I felt was a center, a backup that can, like, this is where DeAndre Ayton I thought was going to be that piece that they go, okay, we need that guy. He's not defensive stopper like Joel Embiid can be, but he at least can give you rebounds and scoring, and that's kind of what we need on that front, if anything. I don't even know the guys they have as back. They just traded away Johnny Broom.
Is Andre Drummond still not there anymore?
No, he's gone. Okay. He is way gone. Yeah, the guys they have listed right now, if I can make sure to pull this up, and I'm gonna butcher these names, I'm sure. Oh, not Adem Bona from UCLA is one of their guys. Of course, they have Embiid. Huckporty is another guy. Yeah, you've never heard of this man before. He's the only other true 7-footer they have on the team. For his career with them so far, he has averaged, well, last season, he averaged 2.2 points a game, 2.9 rebounds, and about 56% from the field. More of a shot blocking defender, I guess, at the post. So, yeah. But it's not Joel Embiid.
No.
And that's,
you're not running plays for him.
Right, and that's the thing is, like, okay, so you add LeBron. Is he going to play power forward? Well, now there's all this talk from Sham that's like, well, he's going to play point more than anything. So then what are you going to do with Tyrese Maxey?
LeBron is positionless, don't you know?
Yeah, of course. But now that, yeah, of course. But that just, like, throws another, like, that just makes it more muddled. Like, okay, he plays the point. I get it. Court vision, the ability to pass, he's got all of that. So Maxey goes to the 2, and then Brown goes to the 3, I guess. Then who's playing the 4? Dean Wade? Or are you just going small ball, we'll move Brown to the 4 and then Edgecombe to the I'm trying to put this team together, and I'm not seeing where this translates into like a smooth operational team with him at the point. I mean, you tried that. His name was Ben Simmons. It didn't really work out.
Yeah. Getting back to Cowherd again, that video resurfaced, which is amazing.
God.
Don't worry. We got LeBron. We got Ben Simmons.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And he's not even in the league anymore. He's a fisherman, so that's cool.
No, but he wants back in the league. Didn't you hear? He wants to make his return.
But he wants to make a comeback. That's right.
Yeah, his comeback.
Don't call it a comeback.
Don't worry, I won't. Yeah. Can't even catch a fish properly. Can't even put it in the net.
Nope.
In terms of legacy, if we can kind of flip it to that.
For LeBron, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you feel like this helps, hurts, or is just a doesn't matter? Like, he's already cemented in stone. Like, he is what he is. He's the number one scorer. Forever and ever, amen. But does it put it some sort of damper on the fact that it's, what, 4th team in his tenure?
Yeah.
Flip-flopping back and forth.
All the switching back and forth and everything.
Yeah. I think my only thing with it is I commend him for recognizing if it was the case of, like, you know what, let me just get out of the West. I'm not beating the Spurs. Yeah. I'm not beating the Thunder anytime soon. So that's just not going to be the case. Let me go be big fish, small pond over in the East. So I can be fine with that.
Yeah,
I'm not offended that he joins the 76ers.
No,
it would have made, you could have made it make it sense if he joins the Heat or joins Cleveland. You're like, okay, yeah, he's been there, done that.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's just that whole idea again. There's like, he doesn't really have a connection to the city. He's kind of just...
He's talked trash more about the city than anything.
Yeah, so I see where the arguments from the online community or even in person, it's just like ring chasing, obviously, you always get the MJ over LeBron crowd.
Yeah.
You always hate him for that reason. Anyway, any way to hate on him, they will do that. So I'm kind of... I don't know. I was very just like hands up. I don't care.
And that's kind of, I think that's where I'm at. Like you mentioned, like Cowherd, who, I heard him say it too. I listen to him every once in a while, like him, don't like him, and can go back and forth with me.
Toss up in the algorithm.
Yeah. I heard him say that, and I was like, I think this is more like Rob Gronkowski or Antonio Brown joining the team, or Leonard Fournette, I think was the other one I used, where it's just like, they add a value where I could see him if they're in the finals or in the playoffs and he goes off, right? Does the LeBron thing and you go, that's why you go get him.
Yeah.
That's why, like Leonard Fournette was a guy that throughout that season you went, all right, he's running the ball. He's
You
kind
got
of moving
LSU.
things. Yeah, exactly.
You got LSU Fournette during that stretch.
Right. You got him throughout the playoffs, running the ball hard. You got him scoring a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Like, he adds that value of he's going to help you win. So I think that's where LeBron is at. But I don't know if this really moved the needle too much for me on Philly, other than, okay, now you've got guys who want to join the team. Like, we've heard Holiday is now trying to figure a buyout so you can come back to Philly to, I'm sure, probably end his career out and try and see if he can get a title to his name again with the team that it all started with.
They're reading KCP also.
Yes, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope just signed his deal to come after he got bought out.
Grizzlies.
Yes, so this team is going to upgrade for sure in many facets, on top of all the guys they already just have too. So I'm sure there's a way that they probably tranche their way to the Eastern Conference Finals potentially. Whether they win a championship or not, and whether that does something for LeBron's legacy, I don't really know, because I think it is kind of just like you're on the Mount Rushmore. You are one of the GOAT of GOATs, right? We're one of those guys that forever in history, when we mention a player like a Cooper Flagg or anybody that comes along, it'll be, well, is he the next LeBron James? We've already done that so many times, as we've done with Jordan, right? We said that with LeBron when he came into the league. Is this the next Jordan? We called him the chosen one, for God's sakes. And he's lived up to the hype. He's done the job. I've always said, if Jordan's the greatest shooting guard of all time, LeBron's the greatest small forward of all time. And I leave it at that so everybody can stop arguing about who's the greatest of all time.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't think this is necessarily going to be like, oh, this pushes him over the edge. Oh, this is not, for me, a Tom Brady joining the Bucs moment. This isn't like, this will solidify his. He's already there.
Yeah.
What else? Like, you retire now, you're going to the first ballot Hall of Fame.
Winning another title will just be like icing on the cake.
Yeah, exactly. It's just adding another cherry, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if he would have retired after his days in Miami, winning those back-to-back championships, first ballot Hall of Famer. He wins the title in Cleveland, retires, first ballot Hall of Famer. He retires after he wins the title in LA, first ballot Hall of Fame. No matter where his, well, yeah,
Mouse ring. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's an asterisk for me and a lot of people.
Mickey Mouse title run.
Yeah, exactly. You get 2 months to take a break and rest. Obviously, that changes things, but still, you retire after any of those moments. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. No one's denying that. So why did this have to happen? Did it have to happen? No, of course not. I think it's just something. Maybe it's his thing. Maybe it's just his perspective of just like, I want to try and just get one more before I go. Maybe he's chasing Jordan. Maybe I don't know. I don't know, because he won't tell us. He'll never be open with us about it. And frankly, who cares one way or the other? That's the thing. Is like you said, Nick. At the end of the day, you throw your hands at me, and go, "Good for you, man." It doesn't really do anything for me. It doesn't make my hair stand up.
We're not getting anything of substance from LeBron until his 10-part ESPN 30 for 30,
which apparently is happening
in
this
5
year.
Years, yeah.
Yeah, apparently when
it's off the cutting room floor,
Yeah.
we get it in like 5 or 10 years.
Apparently, the documentary crew is supposed to be following him around for this one, because he said this is his last decision.
Yeah,
so
makes sense.
I don't know if that actually means he's retiring or not, but it's certainly
It's like so ominous. Like, last decision.
Of course, I mean, that's the thing. Is like, for him, it's always got to be. That's the one thing I've always said. I respect the player. I love the individual that's given to all these people, all the charities and everything. It's this celebrity that's always got to be like, it's the decision. I've got another decision to make, and now it's the final decision. Dude, the pomp and circumstance was good when you were younger in your prime. As it gets older, it just becomes like that sad thing where it's like, hey, you guys want to go see a magic trick? Yeah. Oh, it's not at the MGM. No, it's at like the little hotel down they've got this little thing down
Motel 8.
Yeah, exactly. It's just this, it's in Vegas, but it's like at the hotel that nobody really goes to if you want to go see that all-time great magician that used to be at the top of his game. Like, it just doesn't. I'm sorry, LeBron at this point doesn't sell for me. What sells for me is, look at all the rookies coming in. Look at Cooper Flagg. Look at all the guys that are in their third and fourth year that are starting to come into their prime, right? That's why when I heard the whole thing about, oh, we're holding up the schedule for LeBron James. Why? Like, hold it up for Victor Wembanyama. Hold it up for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Anthony Edwards. Any of those guys, you stop the schedule for. Not a 42-year-old that's on the way out.
Yeah. Adam Silver has gone from one of the best new commissioners to easily one of the worst commissioners currently in the league.
He hit the curb real hard.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. When I didn't think, you're like, you can't be worse. You can't be worse than Rob Manfred. Oh, you're looking pretty good.
I mean, you're touching it.
The way he's handled just about. I mean, you insert whatever controversial thing. I mean, he just. How do you not solve the All-Star game? How do you not solve All-Star weekend by this time? It's been 10 plus years of just awful.
You've had multiple discussions. You've tried all these different formats.
David Stern ain't letting this crap happen.
No, absolutely not.
For sure.
The NBA Cup, to me, this is just, again, my
fumbling
opinion.
the gambling stuff. I mean, just everything.
The trade, the what is it? Eliminating all the tanking stuff. Yeah. All of that. Sorry, Adam.
No, you're fine. It's just the NBA Cup to me just is like, why is it there?
That's the thing. It's you're trying to be like soccer, but nobody cares in this country because we're not a soccer country. I'm sorry, it's not going to get over ever. Yeah. It's an adopted sport.
Oh,
an
this
adopted
was the most performative thing.
Yes.
Having the World Cup here. And, my pride, and I love the Netherlands. Like, you couldn't point out the Netherlands on a map. You couldn't. You a giant globe.
You can. Yeah, I was gonna say you can't track it on a map. You can't even trace your lineage back and far enough to be able to say I'm part of a Nordic Viking. Where? Oh, you know what? You're the Viking that slipped and fell on a rock and probably killed himself that way. That's what happened. Not the dude that went charging into battle with an axe. Get out of here with that nonsense.
Oh, tell that to Holland.
I can tell you right now. Like everyone's like, oh, what do you know of your Spanish background? My Spanish background, you want to know? From my lineage back in Spain, we were farmers. Yeah. It's not some great warrior. It's not some like prince or anything. No, my family were farmers. They immigrated over here to Puerto Rico. They became farmers. That's how it's always been. Get over yourself.
I have Nordic Viking heritage. Like, dude,
no, you
get
don't.
A rash if you sleep on the wrong linens. Like, no.
You burn so easily in the sun, my guy. You're just white. It's okay.
Don't listen. I'm not here.
You're probably Irish, but you think you're Nordic anyways. You probably got your lineage all wrong. Because your parents are like, they were potato farmers. That's not sexy. Tell me we're Vikings instead.
I'm first generation Russian, so both my
parents. And you know what? And
my parents are immigrants.
Yes, exactly. And you know what? That's fine. That's totally fine. Embrace your heritage wherever it may be.
Well, I can't because of geopolitical things going on.
Of course, yeah. But then, there's also this false patriotism that comes from this World Cup stuff that just drives me nuts. Watch a damn piece of soccer in your life, and then you're going to complain about Christian Pulisic and his play. You don't even know what team he plays for. I had one guy that came at me. He's like, I know what team he plays for. What? And he goes, some team in Italy. Name it. Rome, my guy. I'm like, I'll give you points for at least getting the country right, but you way off, man. Yeah. And I went AC Milan. He's like, what's Milan? And I went, oh my god,
it's a good movie.
Yeah. You know what? I should have responded with that. Damn, I missed the chance. I was just like, I'm like, we are so. I'm not.
I'll make a man out of you.
Just schooling system is just so bad. My God, what's Milan? Are you kidding me?
If we could, if we circle back and let me circle back to
Sorry.
LeBron James, but a little bit of wrestling involved.
Yeah.
The likelihood you give me a percentage chance.
Okay.
TNA Wrestling. Since finding out that LeBron James is going over to Philly.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask you too.
They have invited LeBron James to be the title holder for the TNA World Championship match between Nick Nemeth and Jeff Hardy when they come to town tomorrow. They'll be in Philadelphia tomorrow.
Okay.
So what is the likelihood that LeBron James is in the the
vicinity of the arena?
The Liacouras Center. Where I think it's where I don't even know. That's where they'll be having.
Is that like a YMCA gym? Like I'm not sure.
I don't know. It looks like I'm gonna look up who plays. Who plays?
If it's not one of the main places in Philly, I couldn't tell you honestly.
The Freedom Match.
Somebody please buy TNA, please, and help them. Like save them. Something. I watched that documentary and it was just. I didn't realize how bad Dixie Carter really made that thing.
Oh yeah. awful.
That
She
was.
sucks.
I was going to ask you about that on Off the Rails too last time.
Oh, that's where Temple plays their basketball games. That's where I
Oh,
thought that's
okay.
because it had the Temple symbol. I just didn't want to talk out of my ass. I wanted to make sure that was. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's the Temple logo.
It could have their logo, but it could like belong to somebody else, like that.
Yeah, I didn't want to make sure, but yes, that is where.
So like what?
It holds over 10,000 people.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm sure with the way it would be set up, it's probably going to be around. Like
and
7.
that includes like
with the
floor,
stage,
yeah.
the setup. For a basketball game, it's going to held around 10,000, but for a wrestling event, probably around 7.
Okay. What's the percentage he would show up there?
What's the percentage he's showing up?
What's less than
in
nothing?
person?
What's less than nothing? Like
exactly.
Does he even know TNA exists? Like
Probably not.
I don't even. Is he even a wrestling fan?
Well, here's the thing. They have that picture of him at Raw with his flip phone taking a picture of John Cena.
Oh, that's right.
So he has some sort of wrestling. He does probably like it.
He's been at a wrestling event.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
Yes.
There's no sign I've ever seen of him being a wrestling fan like Halliburton and a few of these other guys.
Oh yeah.
You can tell they're wrestling fans.
Yeah.
You can tell. He, I think, just went to a Raw event probably and just like took a picture. I've never heard him once be like, man, did you see the championship match between?
No.
Never heard him talk. I probably talk more about it than he does, and I've just gotten back into it. Like, no, I would say there's 0 to less than 0 chance he ever should. That's totally them just being like, well, you need a promotion. How do we do this?
Yeah.
He's going to be in Philly. We're going to be in Philly. The world championship's going to be up for grabs.
Oh, 1,000%.
Let's do this and let's see if maybe there's like a small chance maybe he'll show up. Are you out of your mind? Are you? Come on.
I mean, it's
a good promotion for them though.
Taking a shot.
Sure. You got to save your company somehow.
One of those like good shot, windy day type deals. I think that's kind of what it's looking like.
Listen, if everything I've heard from the first time I've ever read the dirt sheets on anything for wrestling, which is that TNA wrestlers are looking for any and which way that they can exit stage left. Now's the time, right? Save your company before guys like Leon Slater and probably Nick Nemeth and the rest of those dudes start expending out. I mean, Cedric Alexander and all of them, they got talent, but they're going to look for their next big deal in AEW or WWE at this point in time. So
I already texted Scotty. I go, if LeBron does show up, I will buy a ticket for the TNA event that will be in Chicago. I think it's like August, end of August.
Yeah.
TNA lockdown. I will dress up as Joe Hendry and show up.
Guitar and all?
Yeah.
Oh,
we'll get him.
I
told him that.
I will.
If LeBron James shows up in person to that event tomorrow. Not a video.
You know what?
Not like some little tweet like, oh hey, shout out to TNA. No. He needs to be front row,
right,
holding the title,
yes,
doing exactly what they invited him to do. If he does do that, I will dress up as Joe.
You know what? I'll join you.
Yeah.
I will 100% join you. I don't know if I'll dress up as Joe Henry.
I'll do a full-on song. I'll do everything. Because I'm that for certain that he will not be there. Probably won't even be in Philly.
I'll go for Samoa Joe. How about that? I'll do Samoa Joe. You do Joe Henry. I very much doubt he will even sniff the street that building is on. There's no way. Absolutely no way.
Well,
but
no one's a fan of Temple anyways either.
That's true. Listen,
Name me a Temple.
The moment he said that's where Temple plays, I went. I thought that was just on the university campus, but then I forgot. Oh, that's right, that's in Philly, so it's got to be somewhere, right? I mean, they got their own gym, right? No,
I think their football team plays in Lincoln Financial.
I believe so.
That's sad.
Oh God. Well, folks, LeBron in Philly. What do you think? Do you guys think it's going to make the 76ers a champion? Do you think he'll show up for TNA?
Eric Snow should probably show up first. I think he would be more than likely to show up.
I think it's more likely that you would probably see the ghost of Hulk Hogan show up before you see LeBron James at this point. My God.
Damn.
Chris Daniels or something like that.
Are we?
There's a good chance the Motor City Machine Guns go back to TNA than there is actually LeBron James showing up.
Other like role players from the 76ers. Andre Iguodala can show up.
There you go. Yes,
Dr. J?
Dr. J might actually be more willing to show up, honestly.
Charles Barkley from 76ers.
You know what? You bring a sandwich to it, I bet he would show up. Churros, 100% he's showing up to that match. 100%.
Man, talk about people in San Antonio.
Yeah, listen, man. San Antonio's a great city. They got a great Riverwalk. They got some big old women there. They got some big old women down there in San Antonio.
Man, Gavel says some dirty water.
It's amazing you can talk so much smack and still be beloved throughout the country. Let us know what you think, though. 76ers, where are you sitting at with this whole thing with LeBron James? We want to hear from you guys. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, NFL, the training camps have officially opened up. There's big news across the board. Injuries and battles galore happening in positions all alike. We'll talk about that here and more here on Blow the Whistle on SportsTownChicago.com.
I sound a little cocky, but I think we're legends in Chicago. We really are.
SportsTownChicago.com.
We're all looking to save $1 these days, right? Well, Pino's Old Man is the perfect spot for pizza lovers with the $10 and under menu that'll make your taste buds and your wallet happy. Fried chicken sandwiches, just $6. It's so good I had to start working there just to eat it every day. That's not all. Grab 2 large one-topping pizzas with extra cheesy goodness and a 2-liter soda for just $26.30. Plus, order online and get 5% off exclusive deals. Family owned and operated for 30 years. Open 7 days a week and until 1 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. Check them out on the corner of North Main and Willoughby. Pino's on Main.
Oh my God, I need some Pookie's crack cake. Pookie's crack cakes.
Yeah, girl. You ain't never heard about the best crack cakes in Chicago?
They're right there in the Bronzeville area, right at 105 East 47th Street.
They're moist, delicious, premium homemade cakes made fresh daily. One bite and you're addicted.
They got the caramel cake, butter pecan praline, and red velvet. Ooh, and don't forget the strawberry lemonade and a chocolate Oreo dream. They're open Wednesday through Saturdays, 11 to 6 p.m. Sundays, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. and they're closed Mondays and Tuesdays.
Early arrival is highly recommended. First come, first serve. They give out tickets at 10 a.m.
Just mention you heard it right here on Real Girl Talk Radio and you'll get a free butter cookie with your purchase. Make sure you follow them on Instagram and Facebook at Pookie's Crack Cakes.
Girl, where you going?
I gotta go get my crack cake.
Let's go.
Looking for a great bargain? Want to find cool collectibles? Need to get fresh fruit and vegetables for the family? Come on down to Swaparama. 3 great locations, 42nd and Ashland in Chicago, Melrose Park, and Alpha, with hundreds of indoor and outdoor vendors selling clothing, tools, electronics, and much, much more. Have stuff for sale? Become a Swaparama vendor and turn your hidden treasure into cash. Visit their website for market days, hours, and vendor information. Go to swap-o-rama.com. Swaparama, the first name in flea markets.
There's only one place to watch your favorite sports team and have mouth-watering pizza. Come on down to Moretti's Pizzeria, where you can get a pizza for half the price every Tuesday. Try out our delicious varieties of pizza, sandwiches, and much more. I don't know about you, but a gooey mac and cheese pizza with a size of cheesy mozzarella sticks and watching sports sounds like paradise to me. Stop by at one of our 12 locations near you. We're open 7 days a week, anywhere from 10:30 a.m. to midnight. Visit our website, Moretti'sRestaurants.com, for delivery, catering, and even private parties. Moretti's, we bring the fun.
Get money for that old car sitting in your driveway today. No more insurance payments. No more playing taxi for your friends and your family. More room in your garage with Winning Auto Wrecker. Winning Auto Wrecker comes directly to you and takes that problem car away and off your hands. Call anytime, day or night, at 888-555-0910. Or go to winningautorex.com and we will take that junk off your hands in no time. You win, we win with Winning Auto Wreckers.
We're going to go in the distress.
Can we grab the phone first?
I will start. I only have 2 hands.
From northbound at Howard to do more of a car to fit on that vehicle.
That, ladies and gentlemen, was Tony Romo, who was getting locked up after his OWI arrest. Alongside of him should have been apparently Adam Schneider for the sandwich that he created.
Hey, man.
After what you just described to me, I'm worried about you in so many other ways now. Like,
it's okay. You're not the first one I've had.
How does your stomach just like, man? Like, I'm just more concerned about the end of the. Nobody uses the end pieces of the bread, except for sociopaths who use them for people that they've put in the fridge. Like what?
The reason for it is because I was getting ready for Chicago Dogs, and I had to leave very, very quickly. So I had to think of like some hooba-bugga-jig, and then I threw together some hubba-baloo, and then this piece of piece of crap sandwich. That was a close one. And even for someone who made it, and I can deal with some rather bizarre sandwiches, this was bad. That was not a good sandwich.
Yes. Like, take 2 pieces of bread that are not the end pieces, throw the salami on there, put some cheese in there, throw some mustard on it, and eat it. Like, it's not hard.
I mean, apparently it was, because
you just threw some crap together and just were like, yeah, this is a sandwich, and then you ate it, and you clearly were like, well, this doesn't taste very good, but you still ate it. That's the thing. Is like you still ate the damn thing.
The nice thing is that I had Jet's Pizza afterwards.
How does that doesn't make it any better? Like you still ate the sandwich.
I mean, well, I actually,
and then you had Jet's Pizza on top of that, so that had to be like a mystery just bomb waiting inside of you like that.
To be fair, well, actually, I had 2 of the same sandwiches. I'll be honest.
You made 2 of these things?
Yes, Nick can attest. I did have 2, unfortunately.
And nobody stopped him. Nobody.
No, don't worry. I made fun of him.
Okay, I know. I believe that. But, like, this should have been a moment where, like, you see in the movie where the guy pulls out the bomb and everyone's like, he's got...
Like I ate the bomb.
Oh, my God. What is...
Like, I'll say this, too.
You're trying to defend yourself. There's no defending yourself.
Oh, no, and it gets even worse. I might be thrown in prison for, like, 2 life sentences. I had no condiments in it. It was just straight up dry.
Choke sandwich.
No. How?
Because I'm white.
No excuses. No excuses. If you're white, mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Something. Mustard. Ranch. I don't know. Find something.
Hey, man. Dog.
Throw in a little water.
The thing is, there were no condiments at the time that this sandwich was made.
You could have gone to the store before the game, bought a thing of mustard.
There's literally condiments all over the
I was gonna say
the
there's packets all over the stadium that you can go and grab that you could have just put on the sandwich.
Look, my ass was hungry. My ass needed food.
There's no excuse for that.
No, Adam. No, you are an adult. You need to know how to make a sandwich proper, and you need to know how to eat it properly. Take it from somebody who's made a number of sandwiches, both good and bad. Okay, both good and bad. I have done both as well. I'm not faulting you completely on this, okay? Because I understand you were hungry. I get that. I've been there myself. However, this is a jailable offense, I think.
Well, okay.
I think we can't call 911 and tell them that handcuffs need to be applied.
So let me defend myself on top of another sandwich that I made.
Oh God.
So, my normal sandwich,
It's gonna be like some weird calzone thing he put together. I swear to God.
Yeah, pepperoni pizza on top of turkey, just hard cut. No, I'm kidding.
Okay,
that would be a nightmare.
My brain is at that point where it's like you could have told me anything. I was like,
so it's salami, hard cut salami, right?
Okay.
Then you got
nothing wrong with that.
Thin slice cut turkey.
Okay, that's fine too.
And then ham, and then you throw some cheese on there.
Okay.
And then, depending on the mood, depends on the condiment. See, that's not a bad sandwich.
No, that's something you can get at like Jersey Mike's or Subway. That sounds perfectly fine. What you described to me though was just atrocious.
I can actually give you the exact. It was 6 hard cut pieces of salami on each sandwich, and then it was 4 summer sausages on each one.
Oh my God, nothing.
And no condiments, and nothing. Using the ends of the bread. All right, let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's go.
I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna be driving home mad now, and when I get a text from people and being like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "Sandwiches." I'm just gonna shout that at my phone.
The producer made a really crap sandwich.
I'm not just. Oh my God! All right, yeah, the NFL training camps are officially open. God.
What big dogs are starting on the pup list?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Adam should be for what he just described. Yeah, okay, we're off of that. We're starting with the Bears training camp. Let's kind of start with that a little bit because again, training camp kind of opened up. First day was there. Nick, I want to hit it to you. I mean, from what I don't know if you've heard anything come from Bears training camp. I haven't really kind of done the deep diving into that just yet. All I know is they said it was a pretty decently productive day, kind of looking at a lot of the new faces, trying to get a good look at who's going to be there on offense and defense. What have you heard, and what are you looking for from this training camp coming from the Bears?
I think the big one for sure was, unfortunately, seeing Kyler Gordon's name on the PUP list. I think that was kind of the big concern.
Yeah.
Just the need for him to get back into action. We haven't been able to call our local neighborhood Spider-Man in a while, in Kyler Gordon.
Yeah.
So it's been unfortunate for that sake. And on top of that, yeah, you drafted the strong safety this past draft, so you kind of see somewhat how the secondary can kind of shape up to be, but you don't re-sign Nashawn Wright.
Mm-hmm.
So you can kind of see okay, well, it was exactly that. Do the Bears clearly you see the answer in the Bears? Do they believe that was just a one time? You're not going to be able to replicate that 8 turnover season again. I would probably argue that same thing for Kevin Byard, but clearly they saw that okay, he's not going to do that again, but he still gets signed for pretty cheap. So
yeah.
Again, that idea of okay, what are we missing? Was it him or exactly that? But then like I said, when we get to the here now, okay, now we definitely for sure have a hole in our secondary, not having Kyler Gordon there. What's the solution?
Right.
And is that kind of a wait and see? Hopefully he does get primed up and he is actually able to perform by week 1. But for right now, that is kind of my number one concern. Also seeing Noah Sewell on there is not happy seeing that one in there either. So
yeah.
Yeah, I think that for sure should be the bigger one to kind of keep an eye out for all season long, especially all off season long, to see how that kind of shapes up to be. So yeah, Kyler Gordon, what are we doing?
Yeah,
I will say Braxton Jones did work out with the first at left tackle, and they signed Jedrick Wills from the former Cleveland Brown player, and then you got Karan Amagaji all trying to start for the left tackle spot.
Right.
And I'm just looking at this and I'm like, are we really going to have a couple of injured guys? Well, Will's being the guy who got injured. He has potential, but then you look at Karan Abagaji, who isn't exactly proven and has not done the best job from the couple of snaps that we saw him take. And Braxton Jones just gets ran over by no matter who it is. You can have the wind blow by and he'll fall over.
Yeah, that's the difficult thing. Nick, obviously, with Kyler Gordon and the injury there and the lack of cornerback depth is certainly going to be a point for concern. And obviously left tackle for sure, too, with Trapilo looking like he'll either be out most of the season, if not the whole season, more than likely. There is now this 3-headed trial that they're trying with Wills, Amadeji, and then obviously Braxton Jones, who is coming back from injury himself, too. There is also on the other side as well, all the talks that are happening with Darnell Wright. They're trying to get a contract extension done with him. That's starting to become a bit of a concern because now you're getting to that point where it's like, look, you're either going to get a deal done at this point or you're probably not, right? I mean, it's not necessarily do or die, but it's like, all right, then you can't really be surprised if he's going to ask for a ton of money because he's played now at a Pro Bowl level, all pro level. So if he does it again, you're going to have to pay out the wazoo, and now you could hurt yourself in the salary cap for sure. But on top of that, too, just for the Bears in its sake as well, obviously the one that I will highlight, it's probably the one that I think most of us have kind of looked towards. It's the receiver situation, right? Mm-hmm. I've heard the good things coming that Luther Burton's starting to take that step up. Again, it's just the early parts of training camp, but he's looked good out there. Apparently, Thomas, the rookie they brought on, Xavier Thomas, he's been that speed demon that they've expected him to be. They just need to figure out who's going to be obviously the consistent 2 and 3 out there with Rome Odunze. And they also, I guess, have to make sure, too, that Rome is going to be legitimately that number 1. But they seem confident. Again, the early stage, everyone's confident in the early stages of this thing. But certainly injury bug is kind of like the name of the game right now, this kind of preseason, because on top of Kyler Gordon and obviously whatever injuries are now occurring across the league too for the Bears, You have the TJ Edwards setback as well, which hurts the linebacking core. Which, I mean, they found guys. It's just he's such a key piece to that team. Not having him now is concerning for, well, is he going to be ready for the regular season?
Yeah, flipping it back on Gordon really quick, it was not only just him going down, it was the uncertainty because you were hearing like, oh, he's on track to come back. And then it's like, oh, like again, why is he starting off on the PUP list if you're saying, oh, he's healthier than a horse?
Yeah.
Like but clearly there's something like that there.
And kind of a couple examples to name, because you did mention the injury bug. Nick Scorton with the Carolina Panthers he's injured. He's out for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Shamar Stewart, we talked about it earlier. He's potentially out. I mean, the injury bug is in full effect now, because not a single snap has been played, and some of these younger players who could potentially have an impact are out.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I'm not concerned about the whole. Is Rome going to become the number one? Is Luther Burden going to become the number one? Because when we know that Colson Loveland's going to be the number one pass catcher on the team.
Yeah.
I feel very confident in the fact that I think Ben Johnson is just going to be able to find diamonds in the rough, and guys like, Jadaeon Walker could become household names again. Like there's going to be wide receivers that we have no idea they even exist that are most likely going to have big, huge impact plays because Ben Johnson put them and had the right guy in the right situation. So I'm not really concerned with who's going to become the number one there. Like I said, I think Colson Loveland is going to be. He should be targeted at least 10 plus times a game.
Yeah.
And the way that
after what he showed last year,
and the way that Ben Johnson loves his tight ends, I think that's going to happen. If it's not Sam Laporta in Detroit, it's going to be Loveland over here in Chicago.
Right.
I mean, one of the biggest.
Just to finish off, receiver wise, don't be surprised if Luther Burden is the number one wide receiver on this team, and I'm not. I don't think that's concerning. You're like, oh yeah, he was drafted number 9 overall. Rome was. No, I just think as long that Luther's ready to make that next step up, he should be making the next step up.
Right.
I don't think it's going to be an issue. I believe in Caleb Williams so much that he can make. He's the rising tide that raises all ships. Where I don't really need a number one wide receiver in the room necessarily. It'd be nice, but I just don't really see that being a factor.
I think, and kind of going back to Colson Loveland, I think one of the biggest games that really kind of put him out on the map was when they beat the Bengals. Sorry, Andrew. But at the end,
that's fine. That team sucked. Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to argue on that.
But yeah, adding to the point, kind of like a 1B here is that one question I do have is, will he hit a sophomore slump potentially? Again, only potentially. Or does he do better than last year and keep on improving and improving and improving? There's just, I have cautious optimism, but it's not one of those where I'm expecting like, oh my God, he's going to do so great, and then have my expectations just, thrown into the water.
He's just such a defensive mismatch where it's like, yeah, okay, fine. If a defense throws a corner on him, he's tall enough that he's going to be able to make the play over the average cornerback.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, fine. Let me throw a linebacker, throw me a little bit quicker, or a little bit bigger. Loveland's fast enough to beat a majority, if not all, of these linebackers that are going to be most likely covering throughout the season. So he's just going to be a defensive mismatch all throughout the year. So I think he's going to be fine no matter what. If there is a sophomore slump, it's not because of his own mental, like, oh, I can't handle this. It's just because maybe they kind of figured him out a little bit. But I think his talent is way better enough that he's going to be the number one tight end in fantasy this year. I'll say that right now.
Okay. I mean, that is inherently possible considering how much he was targeted last year and the expectation.
He won't be drafted number one.
Yeah.
It's going to be the usual. It'll be Trey McBride, and then you're going to get Brock Bowers in there as well, which both are going to have. I don't think they're going to have up to their.
Well, they've got quarterback questions across the board for both of them. Obviously, if you don't know this news, Cardinals got Brissett under a contract. Good job getting
for him.
Yeah, you got your money.
Good for him
you got
for
your money.
representing himself.
Yeah.
and being you and I'm going to hold out on the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Like that's
you're
bold.
who?
Yeah.
You're who, and you're holding out on what team? And you're representing yourself.
I mean,
hell, hats off.
He didn't get the $30 million a year that he was asking for, but I think his plan was always to get this. You overshoot, so they come down, and you go, all right, 1 year for 15 and a half. I can do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Which also speaks to, like, you guys don't trust Carson Wentz or Carson Beck. I mean, that's not a good sign. But I also can understand, too, like, okay, maybe you do trust him, but maybe you want a comparable backup. All that talk is going on right now because I hear the few Cardinals fans that hit me up with one email, mind you, that was from our dude Chris in Phoenix, and he's like, so does this mean Carson Beck's not that good? I mean, what's up? Like, he can't be... I was like, you gotta stop shouting through the email.
Yeah.
Chill, because it's all caps. Yeah. Like, he's so mad. And I was like, dude, chill. I'm like, first off, you're a Cardinals fan. You're gonna have to relax. Like, things are not gonna be good right now. Just be happy that you've got Marvin Harrison Jr. and maybe Jeremiah Love becomes the it guy. Like, I don't know what to tell
According to
you.
the head coach, he is a rookie. He is for sure a rookie.
That bodes confidence. Oh no, it was Hackett, right? That was Nathaniel Hackett, the offensive coordinator, which I don't even know if you should trust his word anymore. And yeah, for the Raiders, the word is that Kirk Cousins is going to start all next year. He's getting the start in week 1. So I don't know how I feel about that. Raiders are going to Raiders, baby. Who knows? But yeah, for Colson Loveland, it definitely feels like the only trajectory would be up. The only way that it might get dismantled, and knock on wood, obviously, but he gets hurt potentially. And being as big and tall as he is, as flexible as he is, you would think that's not necessarily going to be a problem because he's so young. But you know that it couldn't always happen because big, tall as he is, guys are going to start going for maybe the lower body, trying to take him out. That's inherently always there, especially with the more agile hybrid linebackers we have nowadays. They come in fast and hard hitting. It can possibly lead to bad things. But for the Bears, I mean, outside of that too, I mean, on the defensive side, I'm still not hearing anything from the defensive line, which is a little concerning. Like, again, early parts, but they're not. I would hope that at least in day one, you're kind of getting a little more of like all right, we've seen guys in OTAs. We've seen guys go through the motions last year and everything, go through the season. Somebody has to feel like they've got the edge at this point because you're going to be, like Adam, you brought up, like we're going to be in preseason games here soon. Like, in the season then will be upon us.
Yeah.
And by that point, you better know who that other edge rusher is opposite of Montez Sweat, who also is now dealing with some stuff I know on the injury and things like that. Or no, he's on the non-active list, something like that.
Maybe the word choice is incorrect, but I guess the concerning issue for that would be you went from gung-ho, we're going to do our best to try and get Max Crosby.
Yeah.
That doesn't fall through, and then you're like, okay, well, that's going to be the end of trying to find a defensive edge, I guess. There's nobody else. There's not a...
I mean, clearly Myles Garrett was out there for the taking. And
hell, even the Saints, Jordan.
Cameron Jordan was a free agent that you could have at least made a pitch to.
Yeah, a cheap move.
I think he might have wanted to go back to New Orleans, but
I believe so too.
He didn't even make a phone call. Like, you know, like that's like something somewhere.
Even a guy like I mean, again, you don't.
Jadeveon Clowney, yeah.
Clowney's still available. Why am I blanking on one of these? The big nose former Charger. I think he went to the Bills.
God.
White guy.
Joey Bosa.
Yeah, Bosa.
Bosa's still out there. Yeah.
I mean, again, these aren't
somebody.
Like, these aren't like, oh my goodness, that automatically makes you the Super Bowl contender. But it's a body. It's somebody.
It's been a somewhat more productive than what you've had, Edra, unless you really think like Austin Booker is going to take that next step, which he's shown signs, but we need to see more of that from what I've watched at least. And Odubinho, I've lost all the confidence in at this point in time. He just didn't play consistently, and he wasn't making the type of plays you needed him to. Like, there's just something needs to be a vote of confidence, I think, for fans that might be like, okay, this all looks good, but these are like the concerns we have, and defensive line has been there since last year.
Yeah.
So now more than ever, it's kind of like, again, it's early training camp. You don't need to identify he's starting right now, but you need to start saying he feels like the first in line. Like first through the door, it's Montez Sweat. Who's next to him though on the other side? It needs to be, and you got to have that answer at least I think to this point. It doesn't need to be this solidified. It just needs to be an answer you have now.
Yeah, completely agree.
Yeah, but we'll see with the Bears. Outside of that, Nick, a lot of guys on the PUP list. You said, as Adam, you brought up, Scorton out for the year. I mean, tons of guys, unfortunately, falling up the range. Shamar Stewart
has to be. I mean, I saw Jalen Ramsey as well.
Yeah, he's dealing with his stuff.
Biggest one has to be Micah Parsons for the Packers.
Yeah,
I mean, it helps. It helps the Bears in every which way. That he's not going to get started right away. I know that they don't play them until what? I know for sure Christmas. But I don't know if they. I mean, both. I feel like both their Packers games are later in the season. Like
I think so. Well, because now that's becoming the marquee.
Yeah,
they're the marquee matchup now because it's the. Well, look at what Caleb Wilson did. Like, and I get that. Like, that makes total sense. That's going to be a great matchup. That's primetime television.
October 11th. So
okay.
What, like week 6? Oh yeah.
Okay, so we get an early matchup and then we get the Christmas matchup.
Yeah. Okay, I like that.
I'm already hungry for Thanksgiving food, but
not with your sandwiches.
Okay.
Yeah, Micah Parsons starting off on the PUP is it's good for Bears for now.
Yeah,
I believe he's out for what, 4 weeks?
Probably the first 4. Yeah,
that's what I heard. Yeah.
Well,
conveniently back for the Bears.
Yeah, of course. Well, and that's the thing though, is that through that time frame that he's going to be out, there's always the potential for re-injury or coming back too soon, and that's the problem with Micah Parsons is because he's such a gamer and he's so young, and I know we all know he wants to be back. He wants the championship. He wants the Super Bowl. He wants all the glory and glitz and glamour that come with it, of course, of winning. But I'm now starting to think that he's been pushing it, even in his days in Dallas. Like, he was playing through injury, he said. So this is where I'm like, all right, for you guys as Bears fans, obviously, if he stays out till that point, great. But for him as a player, you want to see an all-time great play, and he has that potential to be one of those guys.
I feel like him. There's only like a handful of guys you can really be like, okay, that is a game wrecker.
Yes.
Like that is a guy that you plan on from the day one of practice to the last day when you're in shells. Like, okay, you're always worried about where number 10 is.
Yeah.
Where for his number 1 is.
Mm-hmm.
It's like him, Garrett. I guess Mahomes on the offensive side when he's fully healthy.
Sure, yeah. I'm trying to think. Like, there's not many that you just kind of go like, you need to worry about this.
You need to double, triple team him every single time. Like that is what this guy is right now, and that is just such a huge thing for if we're going to keep looking at the Bears' perspective, it's huge for them to not have to worry about that potentially. It's also just like. Good. Glad he's not going to be helping out the Packers.
Right.
Any which way in any sort of way.
Stay injured. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. So, just stay away. Hey, take some time. Really maybe consider, is football.
Go rest and relax.
Is football even for me anymore? I don't know. Maybe I'll
talk to Aaron Rodgers about another
little earworm in there about that.
Yeah.
I think that has to be the biggest name on the PUP list throughout the entire league. I know fantasy-wise, there's a couple names that probably people are like sitting there like, oh, Alec Pierce on the Colts. Again, that's coming off a huge year. He's got a huge contract extension, so that could be a potential.
I mean, that's the thing is it's 1 year. He got the big money, and the problem is that that's so 50-50 when they get the contract after the big year. Because the one that I will never forget was the Kyle Fuller where he had 6 or 7 interceptions. They gave him all the money for the Bears, and then he basically just became like a hit or miss guy, both with tackling and batting the ball down. Like that, it's either pay the guy and he performs out, or you pay the guy and all of a sudden everything seems to go out the window. Whether that's because of the money or not, who knows? But
a slew of 49ers, but the biggest one is George Kittle starting off with the PUP list, which he can that makes sense.
I get that. That was a huge injury for him.
Yeah,
and he's 34, 35. Like, he's at that point now where I know he said he's like, I don't got much left. But, dude, don't go. I know you love wrestling, but all this talk of like, I'm going to retire and go to – no. Just, dude, call it. It's okay.
The other name I saw is
He's 32.
Zach Charbonnet.
32, okay.
Zach Charbonnet also coming off of the torn ACL for the Seattle Seahawks.
That's interesting because that was one of the ones I saw from Seattle, that's a report apparently that it's a running back battle out there where it's not. I thought it was just going to be, oh, well, it's Jadarian Price. You took him in the first round. Apparently, there's a lot of talk that says, no, they're favoring on Hulani and Wilson to maybe take the majority of carries, and Price is kind of like the third down back. And I was like, what? why'd you take him in the front? Like, that's where my mind kind of just like, make it make
like
sense.
That. Again, my fantasy ears and eyes go on that. I go, that's a no-go. I'm not even going to touch the running back room in Seattle.
Not until Charbonnet comes back and would prove something. And he's out for like a good, 5 months, is it? Charbonnet? For the...
No, like I said, he's on the pup list. You could maybe maybe see him coming sometime soon, but probably not the beginning of the year because he tore it pretty late in the playoffs.
Yes, correct.
Kind of to circle back to the Packers pup list, you got Tucker Kraft, who's a big key contributor and favorite target of Jordan Love. You got Luke Musgrave and Javon Hargrave as well.
Yeah, that's and that's the big thing is now you're down possibly two. Well, in Tucker Kraft especially, how he's performed. The Luke Musgrave, but even Luke Musgrave too, like he's been like a safety net piece for them as a number 2 tight end.
Yeah.
That they can, it's a jump ball kind of guy like you think with Cole Kmet, right? You throw the ball up to...
And he's I could
need bodies.
If there was a gun to my head right now and they said, name a wide receiver on the Packers, I probably could.
Matthew Golden. Yeah. That's it. And I saw him play pool, and that's why. So see, he's good at that. He apparently is not very good at catching touchdown passes.
Like Wicks is gone. They just had.
Well, I mean, Dobbs is now in New England. Like everybody's been purged from that team, other than Watson. But Watson is so unavailable all the time.
Watson,
the glass man.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the glass man. Throw him up for a 50-50 ball. It's 50-50. He's going to catch it. 50-50. He's going to get hurt.
Exactly.
Also, the Packers. The joke I make with them is that they have the best room of wide receiver number 2s in the NFL.
I would even argue number 3s. Yeah, I would. I would even drop it low. I mean, it's just the only one I would say is a number 2 really is Watson. They have nobody that has stepped up in their favor. Dobbs had a moment there, like a couple years back, where you went, that might be their number 1 guy. And Jaden Reed, I think he could, but it's now kind of like you're in your prime and it's like you either got it or you don't. And I feel like he is a number 2. I agree with you on those are the 2 guys I would say number 2s, but they don't have a clear go up and get that ball kind of guy. Well, we can trust you with it. Tucker Kraft might be it.
The Packers haven't had it since what? Devontae?
Adams? Greg Jennings might be the last, or Jordy Nelson might be the last number 1 wide receiver they may have had.
Oh, Devontae for sure.
Devontae Adams. Yeah. I forget about that period because I remember him so much as a Raider, of course.
I guess the one positive I had of people not on the pup list was, again, if you're lurking around, a big fan I am of this guy. Hearing Bucky Irving not being on the pup list for the Bucks,
okay,
which is good because all offseason I was kind of keeping up and hearing his ankle, his shoulder,
sounds like he's falling apart.
It's gonna be he's the clear cut number 1 for the Bucks, but I wouldn't be surprised if Sean Tucker gets a little bit. And on that other side of I think I said this off air, but talking to DeBrucker and you that one conversation that one day, don't be surprised if Rashard White has a
bounce back,
coming out season for the Commanders.
Okay,
because if you look at the Commanders depth chart, is Bill McCroskey Merritt gonna? I can't.
I don't trust him. No,
I'm not gonna. He had one good game last year, and it's because he had a 60-yard run for a touchdown.
This is he's a solid number 2 back that you can trust. I think to float in the backfield to catch a pass out of the back, right, and be in the flats. And I think occasionally, yes, he'll have a breakaway run off of option. If you want to do the RPO with him, I could see that working, but I don't think he's a carry the ball every down kind of running back like they were hoping he would be. That could be. He's big and strong enough. White is that he could be a guy that carries the load for Washington in terms of being that back. But that is, what is he, 28? right? He's like
something like that, yeah.
Like he's in his prime, so it's like do or die now too. Again, like you said, with the wide receivers for the Packers, it feels like there's a lot of running back 2s or 3s even in Washington. So confidence there would not be. It's not wearing very well for that team.
Yeah. One of the more notable names for the Washington Commanders on the PUP list is Trey Amos.
That's a tough one because their secondary has taken such a big hit. And I don't know if there's enough there that you can trust them to because they don't have. Lattimore is good, but he's getting older and that's starting to show, and I just don't know if their secondary is there yet. There's so that's the problem is that with each team, I think you can look at them and go, there's something missing from them outside of I don't know, Seattle might be pretty solid, but running back is now a concern for them too.
Yeah.
So everybody's gonna have their question marks, but
I just want to point out one big name for the Titans. J.C. Latham is out on the POP list.
That's a problem. I would say that you need those offensive tackles out because he was a huge part of what kept Cam Ward upwards. Those 2 tackles, that offensive line is proving themselves to be there. And if you're going to have this Ward to Tate connection, and I saw some of the videos, those boys, it's there. There's going to be a thing of beauty coming from that. If I were Calvin Ridley, I'd consider my other options, man. Deadline is not too far off. I'll just say, but him not being out there is going to be a big problem because the Titans have a chance to, I think, take a step. I think they have with the fact that I think they helped their running back situation with Singleton to help Pollard. There's enough there that the Titans can make a claim to 6 or 7 wins, maybe if everyone's healthy.
The AFC South is wide open till it's not.
I would say the Texans right now have to be the favorite, but prove me wrong, CJ Stroud.
Exactly. I'm not going to sit there and say that I'm going to hand it. I wouldn't hand it to any team in the AFC West.
And I only say that.
Excuse me, AFC South.
Yeah, and I only say that because of Will Anderson Jr. and Derek Stingley Jr. Because if they're not on that defense,
the defense can carry him to another division.
Yeah. Otherwise,
I don't trust Stroud.
No, I don't trust Stroud.
But shout out to Tank Dell for being available now for the first time.
Yeah, I'm happy for him.
Horrific knee injury.
Yeah,
for his ACL, LCL, and MCL.
Yeah, and according to what I've heard from the OC down there, he said he's going to have every legitimate shot to make the team of everyone else. Because obviously it's a very crowded receiving core down there right now. Nico's at the front of this thing as the number 1 receiver, but they said, hey, number 2 is wide open. Somebody just has to show that they can be that complement, and Dell had shown enough at that point. Just the injury took him out. Yeah. So I hope he can at least make the team because God, that's a weapon. That is a weapon.
He is.
But outside of that, there's stores floating all over the place on this thing. The biggest ones, the one that obviously people keep talking about too is Minnesota, Kyler Murray, and that whole situation. Who's going to be the quarterback? Murray has shown his stuff, but everyone's still advocating apparently for McCarthy in some kind of regard. I don't see that being the case. I think it's going to be Murray clearing away.
Well,
but
is it McCarthy or 9?
It's McCarthy. He's not getting 9 is not a nickname. That's a number. That's not that. I'm sorry. That's not. No. That's stupid in and of itself. It's not creative. We need to get back to creative nicknames, folks. Minister of Defense, things like that. The Milkman. Come on. Iceman. Let's go. Come on. This whole quarterback competition that these guys got going on, and I know this affects fantasy too because people are vying for, well, if I need a guy who can spot start on a time I have off.
Well, that, you have one of the number 1 wide receivers in Justin Jefferson.
Exactly.
In the room, and you're sitting there like, oh, is he? Some of you are even on the side of is he even worth a first-round pick, which is crazy. Yes, he's definitely worth that.
I would say
but
so.
He can definitely play out of it because exactly what you just mentioned. That if McCarthy is starting, that is bad for him.
Yes,
bad for him. That's bad for all of his numbers and everything, every which way.
Last year that was painful.
Yeah. Loved that they drafted him, and I said that out loud. I'm like, that just set that franchise back 10 years.
No, yeah, from the perspective of the rivals, of course, they're like, oh, bring this on. Even though, yes, we understand he beat the Bears, all that stuff. That was the early. Yeah, exactly. I think it's more so the team was still trying to figure itself out. Clear in a way, Chicago became something else completely different, and Minnesota has translated itself into a destructive piece, which is why their GM is no longer there. It's why Kwefiedoso Mensah, who also, by the way, has one of the worst draft records in the last 10 years, from what I saw amongst GMs, none of his picks outside of like 3 or 4 of them actually hit. And Justin Jefferson takes the boat, takes the load on that for the most part. So, but yeah, if it's not Kyler Murray, I don't know what JJ McCarthy did then to win that job, because I would think Kyler right now, as far as I've heard, Kyler Murray is above and away like the best option they have at quarterback. Even if you
Ray Charles can see that. The fact that this is even a debate.
That's the thing that's wild is that people there are shows in Minnesota that are having this active debate about the fact of why is this a debate. And that's and they're just like, why are fans talking about this? You've seen what this kid is, but unless he takes the jump, like a Tom Brady type of thing or Drew Brees or anything you're not. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Yeah. Sorry, it's a wasted pick by a dumb GM.
Yeah. Again, like I just said, if you have Justin Jefferson on your team, and there was you didn't make him better, he didn't make you better, which blows my mind. So that's where I was at. The only other quarterback news, again, I wish he was here. With Tua and Penix getting all banged up, I see on the horizon a good old name that we've seen before, Cooper Rush, potentially to be starting over in Atlanta.
David, how you feeling, man? You okay?
This might be good.
This is a perfect time for a vacation.
Absolutely.
This might be worse than the sandwich I made. I'll be honest.
That's good.
Well, we can debate that for sure, but listen, Atlanta. I felt like Atlanta had something going for themselves because you've got Kevin Stefanski in there who had shown the signs of I can take a quarterback and I can do something with it, right? So I thought getting to Penix possibly being healthy, okay, Stefanski's proven himself. He can try and find something in a quarterback and get it out of them. Perfect. Now you've got them injured. Now you've got Bijan Robinson on a hold-in for a new contract, which I get. After you just paid Drake London and you just paid Kyle Pitts on those extensions. Overpaid too, yes. But if I'm looking at the Falcons right now, I'm going, this has all the signs of being a rough watch and a season that could, if you get 5 wins, I think you count yourself lucky on that, because you can take it all the way even back to McGarry calling it a career, like one of your top tackles basically saying, I'm done, right? I mean, it just has all the signs of like Atlanta burn. Again, and it's just, it sucks because that division is so weak. Especially when you said like Nick Scorton's out, so a top edge rusher potentially is out. You've got Chris Brazzell II now also injured in Carolina.
You would probably maybe want to. The Bucs are probably the favorite, but
now they've got Vita Vea who's saying I want out, and the contract talks with Baker Mayfield's people apparently are ending. Like they're so.
I was just about to say, like the Bucs, it feels like they get in their own way.
Yeah,
when there's no one in front of them to stop them.
So then the door is open for the Saints.
Yes. It all comes back. Like we forget. Like what this came down to almost a 3-team. A 3-way tie, and the Atlanta Falcons only didn't get in there because they lost to both those teams all 4 times.
Yes, that's so sad to think about.
Oh, absolutely.
When 2 teams within your own division have to play each other to see the other 2 teams.
Oh,
they'll try to make it in. What the? I can't say the other word.
No,
what the hell?
It's right on the level of when the Rams made the playoffs at 7-9. Like it's
Seahawks made the Super Bowl at 7-9.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're vying on that level at this point where that division, it could be as wide open as you've ever seen it, and whoever's just barely limping at the end of the season enough to cross the finish line is going to be your NFC South champions.
It's like the Panthers last year.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can see Tyler Shuck, Jordan Tyson, and Chris Olave possibly carrying the Saints to a divisional title.
Hey,
I mean, and they've got their own problems too, because Breesy just got hurt with a knee injury. That's one of your top defensive linemen out.
Yep.
They've got their own issues with the secondary now too. My God,
they got Cam Jordan.
And he's always a promising fill. He's a leader for the locker room. That's good. In no way do I think adding him back is like a downgrade. No, he's still a very prominent edge rusher that can get the job done.
Well, them adding Travis Etienne Jr. I think
that's a big part
huge,
too. And keeping Calvin Kamara.
Yeah, there's a lot of stats that always point out the running back that makes the move to a different team always has a really solid season. So a lot of people are looking at David Montgomery to have a big one. They're going to look at Travis Etienne Jr. to have a big one this year.
Absolutely.
Well, obviously, Kenneth Walker going to the Chiefs. Everyone thinks he's jumping up to a first rounder potentially. If that's the case, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
I see where others are getting the hype from.
That's the thing is I'm always I'm not one who deeps on the fantasy stuff or anything. I mean, obviously, I let the computer draft my team half the time, so. Hey, I got a belt out of it once, so. But it's always one of those where if you are looking at the fantasy stuff, especially with running back, I'm always I'm not, unless it's Bijan or Jahmyr Gibbs, I'm not going high on it. And even then, both of those guys are on hold-ins right now, so you don't even know if they're going to be ready for the season.
Christian McCaffrey.
Oh God. God, we're still so it's the LeBron James of fantasy in Christian McCaffrey, right? We're going back to that. Well, unbelievable. Any other ads you guys want to say for the training camp you're seeing so far that you think are just kind of jumping out to you?
No, nothing just yet.
Again, it's early parts, I know, but I did
enjoy Drake May already overthrowing AJ Brown, so that was fun to see.
I did see that.
That was fun to see.
That was, boy, but a first rounder, huh?
I do have one thing.
Yeah.
In terms of the Bears, I'm interested to see how Joe Thieneman does.
He's almost getting talked about as one of the leaders of the team at 24 as a rookie like that. I can't tell if that's concerning or if that's a really hey, that's a big positive.
I think it's still the moniker of rookie. Sure, probably gets murky, but the fact that he's 20.
He's 24.
Yeah,
I mean he's a rookie, but he's an older rookie.
He's an older rookie, so
which I think is good.
Yeah, and I think he already kind of had a more of a leadership role over in Oregon. So
absolutely,
yeah, so this isn't anything new to him.
No,
still a really young team where again Caleb is going to be one of your leaders at
24, 25, whatever he is. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's going to be a young team. I mean, again, we're probably going to be Kevin Byers, probably going to be looked at as the vet.
Yeah.
Joe Tooney, obviously.
Thieneman is 21.
Oh, he's 21.
He's 21.
Oh, okay. So at 21, he's already been talked about as a leader. That's saying something for sure.
And again, I mean, if we even want to flip it all the way back to the White Sox, people were talking about how mature Tomei's kid was already.
Yeah.
Getting the talks from him, you're like, wow, that's an 18, 19-year-old kid.
Yeah.
We wouldn't if I listened to that blind, I wouldn't be able to tell you that.
Can even take it to the Bulls too, because they said Matas Buzelis has already been calling everybody saying, hey, wanna go to the gym, let's hoop up. Okay,
good.
You got a leader. Yeah. You've got a young dude who's not even 21 or just hit 21 that's already being I'm going to make the phone calls. We're going to get everybody in the gym. We're going to start practicing and he's already been saying, he already got together with Caleb Wilson and started working out when they were in summer, when he was over there at Summer League. He just went over there and just I'm going to be in Vegas. You want to work out? And he's like, yeah, let's work out. Yeah. And they're just drenched in sweat. And I was just yes, there's magic in this city, folks, that's starting to build up all the way around. Yeah. Can't say the same for the Fire, but Lewandowski's here. That's something. The Sky. Hey, we got Jaime's sister here she's putting up numbers. She's doing her job. So I know. I just trying to feel positive for that team because man, it's looking rough over there right now. Well, guys, I mean, we're getting on time. Do you want to go for off the rails, or do you want?
Let's just go right into it.
Yeah, let's just jump right into the off the rails. 5 minutes. Yeah, we can do that for sure.
Blow the whistle.
Going off the rails.
Yeah, the train.
City.
Okay.
We're good?
Oh, you said to go right into it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, quite
Yeah.
literally
Well, yeah.
went right into it.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that works.
But
Good
yeah,
job,
I guess the big ones were the ESPN firings. The concerning ones there, all the reports about getting Ryan Clark getting fired during NFL Live.
That's the big one, obviously, is that this leaked, which I don't know how it leaked outside of just like ESPN. I think clearly leaked it. And then halfway through the show, Ryan Clark is now off the desk, and everyone's like, what happened? And then you're learning the news. Oh, during the commercial break, they brought him off the desk. They told him he was fired and basically sent him home.
Well, Cam Newton also got fired, didn't he?
Cam Newton as well. You had a number of people at that company for
Guys
years.
have been there for 30 plus.
Yes. Birch was his name. Yeah. Who obviously baseball. He was one of the big baseball guys there. He had been removed. He had been a huge part of the organization of that company for so many years on the baseball side of things. Just unceremoniously removed like that. It speaks to...
Booger McFarland's doing just fine.
Some of the bigger names, like Booger McFarland, he's fine. But yeah, Ryan Clark, Cam Newton, Bart Scott, Charles Davis, Carl
Ravitch, that's it. Exactly.
Tom Pelissero, which surprised me.
That he's a legacy from NFL Network that you just brought in because of your merger with the NFL Network. And
they let him go. That's
one of the best reporters and writers that you could find for football, and he's gone.
Yeah. Well, if he's available, you could join Blow the Whistle.
We can't offer much, if anything, but
we can offer fun.
Yeah, but this just speaks to ESPN's just lack of
awareness.
Yeah.
It could be what a lot of people are on the philosophical side of is this the route that all sports writing and all sports TV all sports media is headed to? They just want the guys that are
the Barstool Sports,
the Barstool of the Pat McAfees of the world, where he's just loud charisma guys that
hot takes across the board.
Hot takes across the world. It's just constantly like that.
Here's an interesting little article. I apologize, Nick. Following ESPN's $3 billion acquisition of NFL media assets, the network, blah, 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 blah. Former Carolina Panthers star Steve Smith, who joined the NFL Network, is expected to step into expanded role on shows like Get Up, First Take, and NFL Live.
And that's to be expected when you remove the people you do. And then you're talking about you're trying to bring in the Bussin' with the Boys with Josh Patty to try and bring them to a new show.
I love Dave Portnoy's comment. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see that.
Barstool Jr. or something like that with all the...
Which I don't... Wrong. I don't like Portnoy, but he's not... And I'm not blaming Barstool. They're just their own product. Yeah. It's that fact that, yes, a lot of people are pivoting towards that style of media. So therefore, ESPN says, well, how do we get that younger viewer? You pivot towards that media. Yeah. The problem is you're destroying a product that was supposed to be considered the legitimate sports news source for everybody to be able to go to say, this is the news, here's what we think, but here's the news at the core of it. Yeah. Instead, you're now going... hot take, hot take, hot take, hot take, hot take. And as much as I do love once in a while a hot take, I don't personally want an entire network full of it. I want more newsworthy stuff at its core. Give me the hot take on the side.
When I want the hot take, I will go to Nick Wright for it. I will go to Colin Cowherd. Yes. I will go to
Stephen A. Smith, who has the show of hot takes.
Yes.
That should have been the only one. Yeah. Instead, you remove Around the Horn, and I think PTI is
still there,
but it's on his last legs.
Yeah, Kornheiser
and Wilbon are tired. You can see it in their eyes. They're just like, can we keep trying to prop up the news division?
As much as I like them, they are the two old men yelling at clouds of ESPN.
Yeah,
that's the only.
But at least they give the news while they're shouting. Like, here's the information. Here's our side of it. What do you think? Let's go to the next topic. It's not. Well, here's what I think. I think that LeBron James. I mean, I don't need that all day. I don't need that all day. And for those that are saying Pat McAfee's at the blame of this thing because he's getting a potentially $60 to $65 million deal, that's not his fault.
No.
He's using that money to pay everybody that works with him. Keep that in mind. Like that money is going to all the people that work on the Pat McAfee show. It is ESPN who decided that he is worth that. He asked for it. They could have said no and kept those people in line. they're the ones that are making the decision to say cut the people and pay the money out to this one guy. Not McAfee's fault.
Yeah, I feel like kind of it could be generalized to all other news outlets and other media where you guys, okay, where am I going to go to my news? Am I going to go to the big guy, the big CNN or MSNBC, Fox?
Yeah.
Like, that you're going to go what you're getting. You're getting a biased side of whatever it is, whatever side you're going.
Right.
And I think that's going to translate into now where you're not going to go to ESPN, FS1, and so on and so forth. You're just going to start going to these guys individually if you haven't already to begin with.
And I do that already. Like, I go to FS1 to go listen to Two Pros and a Cup of Joe. I go to ESPN occasionally to listen to maybe McAfee or something like that. Like, I look for the individual YouTube channels, or the podcast, whatever it might be. I'm not going to the sites necessarily.
Yeah, and I can see it from both sides. A guy I saw it in his feed, like Rob Brown, who's been on here.
Yes.
He kind of advocated. I was 50-50 with him. I kind of see where he was coming from, but also in the sense of like, you kind of have to recognize where you are on the totem pole. Where he was kind of arguing like,
I did see that, yeah.
Like, hey, this is kind of the viewer's fault. You value hot takes and loud debates and nonsensical arguments over guys that actually know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And again, I can agree with you there, but it's also like, you might not be the guy that should be saying that. Again, I don't want to offend any which way. He's had the accolades. He's been where he's worked. He's been recognized as a top reporter and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, again, you can't hate on the viewer for liking the arguments and the flashy side of stuff. We tell them to be like, hey, value that, but also value like, hey, actually, guys that know what they're talking about.
That's the biggest thing. Like, Pablo Torre should be above and away, I think, the guy that is like number one on the list, and yet people will.
He's so good, but he also loves the smell of his own farts.
Oh, sure,
so
of course.
I just can't. I can't subscribe to him fully. He's the only one that's doing any sort of sports journalism, actually, 100%. Like sports hard hitting, finding facts, and like, oh, there's corruption over there. I'm gonna go investigate that.
He has been the best deep diver we can find. After, unfortunately, Rossini and a few others have taken
a hit. He hangs out with Dan Levitard, who has one of the biggest sports egos of all time.
Well, they've been friends since ESPN and all that.
As well, to a certain extent.
Yes.
Like, I love when he had his show, too.
Another
victim of the ESPN.
That's the thing, and he talked about that as well, and I was listening to him speaking about it, and he, like us, was just like the disgrace that you do to these individuals who have been a part of this company for so long. Even Ryan Clark, who's been there for 10 years as a media personality, like, you're doing them all, like, let them go out at least in some regard on their own terms or in a more respectful manner. My thinking, if I'm just going to kind of speculate on anything, would be that ESPN was worried because Ryan Clark has obviously been very bombastic with some of his takes, right or wrong. He's been very outspoken, and I think their fear might have been if he gets this while he's on the air, he's going to say something, and we're not going to be able to come back from that. We're going to have to, like, kill it with dead air or something like that. I'm just speculating on that. I can't speak to that. I'm sure Ryan would have been a professional through and through, maybe. But my thinking is ESPN, who now I would certainly be concerned about their top management, possibly looked at that and went, is he going to see something bad about us? Because people have done that before in the past from ESPN that have been let go and been like, hey, I got let go, so now I'm going to say what I want to say. And they've been like, kill it before they say something. Yeah, exactly. So it just looks bad for them. And it looks bad, unfortunately, as much as people may not care regardless because it's a big company entity. It looks bad on the Disney Corporation. Oh, yeah. Because it comes from the top there down on, hey, we need to scale back some. You need to make some cuts. You need to get views up because you're losing money.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we can't value you guys as a part of our company.
Yeah, SportsCenter, I mean, again, you can look back to all the past.
Oh, the clips and the videos that were popping up on, like, what it used to be. Like, I just went through the whole
personalities, names, everyone these were actually like household names.
Dan Patrick was just like, oh, the moments I had on there were amazing. They were fantastic. I loved it there, and now it's unrecognizable. And I was like, I used to love watching you on there, dude, bringing the news and everything.
It is. I mean, SportsCenter is literally just background noise. Throw it on because it's just throw it on because it's on at the gym or something like
Absolutely.
that. Or in a hallway at a at a local deli.
Yeah, it was so warming to like sometimes have that on. Then they're running through the news cycles, and then you would hear the da 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 da. Stop. and look up at the TV at the same time. You don't get that anymore.
I mean,
and that's because I get it, social media and all that.
Sports Center top 10s actually meant something because again,
Oh, God.
you see these on the internet.
Yeah, that's why I give a lot of credit to Van Pelt for trying to keep a semblance of like the ghost of what used to be alive through his show. And I love Van Pelt as it is because funny, entertaining, brings the news, has his opinions, can just a very well-rounded individual. And they shove him in the late night.
I know.
And it pains me because you put him in the daytime, you put him in the morning show, you'd probably kill, I think.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people would be like, well, I'm coming back because it's no longer. Now, I think if you're outrageous, disrespectful, blasphemous, like, dude, it's 8 a.m. I can't. I need my coffee, and you're yelling at me. Like, I don't need this. It's a shame. It's a sad shame.
Yep.
I
was just gonna say,
yeah, please.
Just with some of these people getting fired, at least maybe you could have moved them into a different position. Even maybe
you could have. I mean,
I know that sounds a little like out there, and some people might be like, "Well, they're big personalities." Like,
right?
Yes, but there are other ways to still have them on while in another position. It's kind of what I'm trying to say.
You could have done a podcast, I think, for Ryan Clark that would have been, maybe not as noticeable, but those that like him or want to listen to him, then they would have been able to go to him. Or Pelissaro, too. I mean, Pelissaro is going to make a killing now as a podcaster who's got all these NFL connections. Are you kidding me? He's going to have his own podcast now and clean house.
Yeah.
Probably start his own network because he's that
that's kind
good.
of where I was also going to get just to kind of finalize it. Like, all the names that were let go, I don't, like, it's not that I don't feel bad. Yes, that sucks, losing your job in every which way. But I feel like all these guys, all these names are going to bounce back in some sort of way.
Oh, Carl Ravitch.
Yeah, it's only going to be like a couple of days, like if not a couple of hours before. I'm sure as soon as all these names were let go, a couple of hours later, they were getting calls from people.
Oh, 100%. Carl Ravitch is another one. He could start his own baseball network because he's got 30 plus years of connections with the all-time greats to the current generation of baseball players. Like, tell me he can't get some of these guys to come on and be like, hey, you want to talk baseball? Let's talk baseball. No, I want you guys to do a baseball podcast and I'll fund it. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Yeah. I mean, he's got the leverage for it for sure. So 100%. It's unfortunate. It only looks bad for ESPN and for Disney. It sucks that these names got removed, but like you said, Nick, they all have enough clout that they're going to be able to garnish a job or create their own jobs. Somewhere they're going to find success, and I personally can't wait to listen to them because I'm a fan of them all. Yeah. Ravitch, you gave me baseball. Pelissaro, you've always been great for the NFL. Ryan Clark, you got some bad takes at times, but I love to hear you argue every once in a while, man. It's a shame that these names got removed.
Were they making that joke that he had said like the Cowboys could win the Super Bowl and then he was cut the very next commercial?
Yes, yeah, something like that. Anything else we want to feed in for Killing Me Smalls?
No,
not Killing Me Smalls off the rails.
I mean, there's other topics, but we'd be here for another half hour.
Yeah, exactly. We'll save them for another show, whenever that might be. We'll see about next week. How do dogs look for next week? Are you okay? Well, we'll try maybe for next week then. I didn't look at the schedule, so
they're still a team.
The fact that they
can't just tap out.
There are times I'm like, I'm doing camera right. I do base 3 normally.
Oh God.
And yeah, I have to watch it while doing my job. But at the same time, I'm like, you ever see that scene where Quagmire and Peter made a pie, and the pie's like beating the crap out of you?
Yeah.
I'm Quagmire's like, Peter, the pie's making me watch. That's
I'll put it this way: I'm glad there's only 8 games this month in August.
Yeah,
there's only 8 home games in August now.
There's a thing of beauty to know that it might be coming to an end. So I understand that.
I meant finishes off with about a 7-game home stretch in September, but
yeah, it's doable.
But that means we're almost done.
Exactly.
I talked about
a month off, and they're back to Bulls.
Yeah, exactly.
I talked about it before the show, but it kind of explains the season. They've lost very close games. They've been blown out of the water, or if they're ahead by a comfortable margin, they somehow almost blow it. There's no in between in any of that, and their season kind of sums up 21-1 loss. That one.
Yeah, that will be the case sometimes. But hey, We love them all the same. Yep, that's baseball, folks. How can you not love baseball?
Or Nick, as you say, all right, guys, we're gonna set up, we're gonna do the shot, and Dogs baseball.
Yep.
Every time.
There you go.
Number 2, and scoreboard up, and Dogs baseball.
Just the enthusiasm I hear out of you is just like out of this world.
It's there.
It's there. But there are times you're just like you want to cry.
How can you not be romantic about baseball, folks? How can you not? All right. Well, that's going to do it then for us here, ladies and gentlemen, here on the show. We appreciate you all joining us, listening to us, watching us, wherever you might be. As always, hit us up, BlueToothWhistle1 on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all that good stuff. You guys want to answer us any questions, BlueToothWhistleRadio@gmail.com too. You guys keep sending me the emails as well here, so xbsportsofficial@gmail.com as well for below the whistle stuff. I know you guys have been sending me some stuff for Bad Karma. We're still trying to work that out. The boys have been busy, so that's going to have to be a TBD. At some point, we might get ourselves back into that mode. We'll see. But with that all being said as well, too, make sure to go check them out, Bad Karma Wrestling. You guys can see all the past episodes at Bad Karma Wrestling on YouTube. X-Bomb Sports, we're always going... Not live, we're recording now, so we can find us. Recordings go and are out on Friday, roughly around 12 or 1 o'clock, depending on when I'm not falling asleep. So it all kind of depends on that and when I get home from work. I don't sleep on Fridays anymore. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for listening. We love you. We appreciate you. Stay positive, be positive. Positive things will happen to you. And we will see you guys for another show. If not next week, then maybe in 2 weeks. We will keep you guys up to date on that. As always, love you. Appreciate you. Peace out.
This is your home for sports.
This is the best fans in the world.
No better team. SportsTownChicago.com. Are you ready for this?